You're at the grocery store checkout line, digging through your wallet to find a penny for exact change. You pull out a 2007 D Lincoln penny, toss it onto the counter, and go about your day. But wait, what if I told you that the penny you just handed over for a pack of gum might actually be worth $7 million? I know it sounds insane, but it's true. There's a rare version of the 2007 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny out there that collectors would practically sell their souls to own. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly why this penny is so valuable, how to identify it, and how you can make sure you don't accidentally spend your fortune at a vending machine. Stick around, because this isn't just about coins. It's about life-changing treasure hiding in plain sight. Let's dive into the basics first. The D Mint mark on the 2007 penny means it was minted in Denver. Now, here's the kicker. Most of the 2007 D pennies are totally ordinary. They're worth, well, a penny. But there's a very specific version of this coin with a rare minting error that makes it worth millions. What kind of error are we talking about? It's a double die error. For those who aren't coin nerds like me, a double die error happens when the design on the coin gets stamped twice, creating a slightly blurry or doubled appearance on the letters, numbers, or other details. Think of it like a printer glitch, but instead of ruining your document, it creates a multimillion-dollar collectible. So what should you look for? Grab a magnifying glass, or just zoom in with your phone, and inspect the coin's lettering and numbers closely. Look for doubling on Lincoln's profile, the word Liberty, or the date 2007. If you spot it, you might just have a coin worth more than some people's entire homes. Now, let's talk about why this coin is worth $7 million. First, rarity is everything in the coin world. Only a handful of these error coins have been discovered, which makes them the ultimate prize for collectors. Second, the condition of the coin matters a lot. The $7 million coin was in flawless condition, graded as Mint State 69, which is just one step below perfection. Let me tell you a funny story about how I almost lost a valuable coin. A while back, I was cleaning out my car, and I found a bunch of coins under the seats. You know, the ones that slip out of your pockets and disappear into the abyss. I threw them all into a jar, thinking nothing of it. A couple of weeks later, I'm watching TV and see a news segment about a rare penny that sold for millions. It was a 2007 D Lincoln penny. My heart stopped. I immediately dumped out that jar of coins and started inspecting every single penny like my life depended on it. I even borrowed my kid's science kit magnifying glass to get a better look. Did I find the $7 million penny? Nope. But I did find a 1969 penny with some minor errors, which ended up being worth about $50. Not bad for something that was hiding under a pile of fast food receipts. The point is, you never know where these treasures might be hiding. That old jar of coins, your car's cup holder, or even the bottom of your purse could be holding something incredibly valuable. So here's the deal. If you've got a 2007 D Mint Mark penny lying around, check it. Look closely for those double die errors, and if you think you've hit the jackpot, have it authenticated by a professional grading service. Who knows, you might just be sitting on $7 million without even realizing it. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting rare coins that could change your life, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of stories, strategies, and insider tips to help you uncover the hidden gems in your spare change. Now, go grab that jar of coins, start hunting, and let me know in the comments if you find something amazing. Alright, let's play a quick game. Grab your wallet, dig through your spare change, and pull out any random penny. Now, what if I told you that tiny coin could be worth more than your dream car or even your dream house? Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, stick with me because today we're talking about the 2006 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's valued at, brace yourself, $6 million. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny that was minted in 2006 in Denver is worth more than a private island. Crazy, right? But don't go tossing out your change just yet. I'm going to tell you exactly what makes this penny so special, how to spot it, and most importantly, what you should do if you find one. Let's get into it. First, let's set the stage. The 2006 D penny is part of the modern Lincoln cent series, and the D Mint mark tells us it was minted in Denver, Colorado. Now, here's the kicker. Most 2006 D pennies are only worth, well, a penny. They're super common. But every now and then, a rare gem slips through the cracks. The $6 million version of the 2006 penny is what collectors call a mule error coin. A mule error happens when two dies that weren't meant to be paired end up being used together to strike a coin. Think of it like wearing mismatched socks, except instead of being mildly embarrassing, it's wildly valuable. This particular error combines details from a Lincoln cent with elements from another coin design, making it one of the rarest and most sought-after pennies in existence. Now, how do you know if you've got this jackpot penny? Good question. Start by checking the coin's design. Look for anything unusual. Maybe the lettering looks funky, or the image doesn't quite line up. Errors can also show up in the mint mark itself. If you spot doubling, where it looks like the letters or numbers are shadowed, that's a big clue. And of course, condition is everything. If your penny looks like it's been chewed on by a toddler, it's probably not worth much. But if it's shiny and clean, you might be sitting on a fortune. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was helping my nephew with his coin collection. He's super into it, like he's the kid who spends his allowance at the coin shop instead of the candy store. Anyway, he pulls out this jar of pennies and asks me to help him sort through them. At first, I'm just humoring him, right? I mean, I didn't think we'd actually find anything valuable. But then, I spotted a 2006 penny. My heart skipped a beat. I grabbed my phone, zoomed in like I was Sherlock Holmes solving a case, and started examining it. It wasn't the $6 million mule error, but it was still worth a few bucks because of a minor flaw in the mint mark. My nephew was so excited, he started going through every penny in the jar like it was a treasure hunt. The best part? It reminded me that these little coins we often overlook can hold so much potential. And hey, it was a bonding moment. Plus, now he calls me Uncle Treasure Hunter, which I'm definitely putting on a T-shirt. So, what's the moral of the story here? Don't underestimate your spare change. That 2006 penny in your wallet or piggy bank could be worth a life-changing $6 million. All it takes is a little patience, a good eye, and some curiosity that if you think you've got a special penny, get it checked out by a professional grading service. Who knows, you could be the next person to cash in on a hidden treasure. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and stories to help you uncover the value hiding in your pocket change. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up next. Now, go check your pennies and let me know in the comments if you find something amazing. You're at the gas station, grabbing a coffee and some snacks. The cashier hands you back some change, and there it is, a humble, everyday penny. You toss it in your pocket without a second thought. But what if I told you that penny could be worth $8 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $8 million. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1988 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin that looks like a regular penny but has collectors shelling out millions. Stick around because I'm going to tell you what makes this penny so special, how you can spot one, and how it could turn your pocket change into life-changing money. And I've got a funny little story about a time I almost missed out on a valuable coin myself. Trust me, you're not going to want to miss this. Alright, let's get into it. The 1988 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look like any other penny you'd find under your couch cushions, but it's far from ordinary. First, let's talk about what no-mint mark means. Typically, U.S. coins are stamped with a little letter that tells you where they were made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But if there's no letter under the date, that means it was minted in Philadelphia. Now, here's where it gets interesting. While most 1988 no-mint mark pennies are worth, well, a penny, there's a rare error version of this coin that's worth an astonishing $8 million. Why? Because of a tiny, almost unnoticeable mistake made during the minting process. This particular error has to do with the die, a tool used to stamp the design onto the coin. In 1988, some pennies were accidentally made using a reverse die from 1989. Yeah, it's like the mint was accidentally mixing up their calendars. This mistake created a coin that's insanely rare and highly sought after by collectors. So, how can you spot this $8 million penny? Look closely at the letters FG on the reverse side of the coin. These initials, standing for Frank Gasparo, the designer of the Lincoln Memorial reverse, are located near the base of the memorial. On the rare error coin, the FG looks slightly different. matching the design used in 1989 instead of 1988. You might need a magnifying glass or a good pair of glasses, but hey, isn't $8 million worth a little eye strain? Let me tell you about a time I almost missed out on a valuable coin. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car. You know, the black hole of old receipts, gum wrappers, and loose change. I found a penny wedged between the seats and almost threw it into the nearest parking meter. But something about it caught my eye. I thought, why not take a closer look? Turns out it wasn't worth millions, but it was a 1955 wheat penny with a small error, and I ended up selling it for $150. Not bad for a coin I almost fed to a parking meter, right? That experience taught me a valuable lesson. Never underestimate the potential of a penny. And honestly, it's kind of fun imagining that your next big payday could be hiding in your spare change. So what's the moral of the story? Don't sleep on your pennies, especially those 1988 no-mint Mark Lincoln pennies. Take a good look at the reverse side, pay attention to those tiny FG initials, and who knows, you might just be holding an $8 million treasure. If you think you've got one, get it verified by a professional coin grader. Seriously, don't just toss it into a vending machine. That's like throwing a lottery ticket into the trash without scratching it first. And hey, if you're loving these coin stories and want more tips on finding hidden treasures in your spare change, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more videos coming your way to help you uncover the secrets of coins worth money. Now, go check your car seats, your couch cushions, or even that random jar of coins you've been ignoring. Who knows? Your next big payday might be staring you right in the face. You're at the checkout line, pulling out some change to pay for your gum. You hand over a penny without thinking twice. But wait, what if that little copper coin in your pocket was worth $1 million? Yep, you heard me right. $1 million. You'd probably scream, drop the gum, and sprint straight to the nearest auction house, right? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1971 S-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. I'm going to show you why this coin is worth a whopping $1 million, what makes it so special, and how you can tell if you have one. Plus, I'll share a funny story about how I almost tossed away a valuable penny myself. So stick around, you won't want to miss this. Let's kick things off with the basics. The 1971 S penny comes from the San Francisco Mint. Now, most of these pennies are pretty ordinary and, let's be honest, they'll only get you closer to buying a cup of coffee. But a select few of these coins have something very special going on, and that's what makes them worth their weight in gold. Or, in this case, way more than their weight in gold. The $1 million version of the 1971 S penny is what's known as a proof error coin. Proof coins are special. They're minted for collectors and have a shiny, mirror-like finish that you can practically use as a makeup mirror. These coins are handled with extra care, but every now and then, a mistake slips through the cracks, and that's where the magic happens. For the 1971 S penny, collectors are hunting for something called a double die error. This is when the design on the coin gets stamped twice, slightly off-center, creating a doubling effect. You can usually spot it on the lettering, the date, or even Lincoln's profile. Think of it like a coin version of seeing double after a long night out. It's rare, it's weird, and collectors absolutely love it. One of these error coins sold for $1 million at auction. And here's the kicker. It wasn't even the only one. So, the odds might be slim, but they're not impossible. And let's face it, who doesn't love a good underdog story? Speaking of underdog stories, let me tell you about the time I almost gave away a valuable coin. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my car, the kind of cleaning where you find old receipts, stale French fries, and enough loose change to make a small fortune. I dumped all the coins into a jar without thinking twice. A week later, I was bored and decided to sort through the jar. I figured I might find something interesting, and sure enough, there it was, a 1971 S penny staring back at me. My heart started racing. Could it be the one? I grabbed a magnifying glass, it was my phone flashlight, and inspected it like Sherlock Holmes. Long story short, it wasn't the $1 million version, but it was still worth $50 to a collector. Not bad for something I almost left in a vending machine. That moment taught me to always double-check my change. Who knows what treasures are hiding in plain sight? So, what's the moral of the story here? Don't sleep on your pocket change. The 1971 S Mint Mark penny could be your ticket to a $1 million payday. Look for the S mint mark under the date. Check for any signs of doubling on the letters or numbers, and make sure the coin is in great condition. If you think you've got a winner, have it graded by a professional to confirm its value. And hey, if you're into hunting for hidden treasures in your spare change or just love learning about valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm here to help you uncover the secrets hiding in your pocket. Now, go grab your jars of coins, start digging, and let me know in the comments if you find anything exciting. You're at the grocery store, buying a bag of chips and a soda. The total comes to $3.02, and you hand the cashier a $5 bill. You get back some coins in your hand, and you barely glance at them before shoving them into your pocket. But wait, one of those coins could be a 1968 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny. And if it is, you might have just casually walked out of that store with an $8 million jackpot in your pocket. Yup, $8 million for one tiny penny. I know what you're thinking. There's no way that's real. But I'm here to tell you, it's very real. And today, we're diving into what makes this 1968 D penny so special, how you can spot one, and why you should never underestimate the change sitting in your car's cup holder. Let's start with the basics. The 1968 D penny was minted in Denver, and the little D mint mark on the front tells you exactly where it came from. Millions of these pennies were made, and most of them, completely ordinary. But then there are the rare ones, the proof coins and error coins that send collectors into a frenzy. The 1968 D penny we're talking about today is one of those unicorns. It's a proof coin with a rare minting error, and it's worth up to $8 million. Why so much? It all comes down to a combination of rarity, condition, and collector demand. Proof coins are like the celebrities of the coin world. They're struck with extra care, using polished dies, which gives them that shiny, mirror-like finish. These coins are supposed to be flawless, but every now and then, something goes wrong at the mint. Maybe the dies were slightly misaligned, or maybe there was a doubling error in the letters or numbers. Whatever the case, these mistakes make the coin incredibly valuable. If you're thinking, okay, cool, but how do I know if I've got the $8 million version? Here's what to look for. First, flip the coin over. Check for a doubling effect on the letters or numbers, especially on Liberty or the date. This is what collectors call a double die error, and it's one of the key things that can make your penny worth a fortune. Next, inspect the condition of the coin. The closer it looks to brand new, the better. If it's been dinged up in someone's pocket for 50 years, it's probably not going to fetch top dollar. But if it's shiny and in mint condition, that's a whole different story. Let me tell you about a time I almost lost my mind over a penny. I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. He's one of those people who never throws anything away. In one dusty corner, we found an old coffee can filled with pennies. I joked, "What if one of these is worth $1 million?" He laughed and said, "You can have them if you want." So, of course, I took the can home and spent the whole weekend going through it, one penny at a time. At one point, I found a 1968 D penny. My heart started racing. I grabbed my magnifying glass and spent about 10 minutes squinting at it, trying to see if there was any doubling on the date. Spoiler alert, there wasn't. But here's the thing, it got me thinking about how easy it is to overlook something valuable. That penny was just sitting in a coffee can for decades. Who knows how many people had seen it and never thought twice about it. So, here's the deal. The 1968 D Lincoln penny might be sitting in your piggy bank, your car, or even your junk drawer right now. If you find one, take a good look. Check for that D mint mark. Inspect the letters and numbers for doubling, and make sure it's in good condition. You never know, you might be holding an $8 million treasure. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more stories and strategies to help you turn your spare change into serious cash. Now, go grab those jars of pennies, start digging, and let me know in the comments if you find something amazing. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1965 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A coin so valuable, it might just have you raiding every jar of spare change in your house. I'll break down what makes this penny so special, how to spot it, and why you need to start looking through your pennies right now. And trust me, you'll want to stick around for a little story about how I almost ignored a coin that could have made me rich. Alright, first things first, the 1965 no-mint mark penny. Why no mint mark? Back in the 1960s, the US Mint decided to stop putting mint marks on coins for a few years, trying to eliminate coin hoarding. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. People still hoarded coins, and now, here we are, talking about why one of these no-mint mark pennies is worth more than most luxury cars. So what makes this particular penny worth $5 million? It's all about rarity, condition, and a little thing called a minting error. This specific penny was struck on a planchet intended for a silver dime instead of a copper penny. Imagine the mix-up at the mint when this happened. It's like someone accidentally putting whipped cream on your burger instead of your dessert. Unexpected but memorable. Because it was struck on the wrong material, this penny has a very distinct look. It's lighter in color, almost silvery, and has a slightly different weight. If you think you've got one, grab a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and take a closer look. And if it looks pristine, like it just rolled off the assembly line, then congratulations, you might just be holding a life-changing coin. Now, here's the kicker. One of these pennies sold for $5 million at auction. Let that sink in for a second. $5 million. And here I am, still trying to decide if I should upgrade to guac at Chipotle. Let me tell you about the time I almost ignored a coin that could have been worth serious money. A few months ago, I was at my aunt's house helping her clean out her attic. She's a bit of a pack rat, so there were boxes of old stuff everywhere. I came across this jar of coins that looked like it hadn't been touched since the 1970s. Naturally, I started going through it because, hey, you never know that I found a 1965 penny and thought, no mint mark. Cool. But then I just tossed it back in the jar, figuring it was nothing special. Later that night, I decided to Google it because curiosity got the better of me. That's when I realized I could have been holding one of the rare pennies. Of course, I rushed back to check, but someone had already dumped the jar into a Coinstar machine. Lesson learned, always double-check your change, people. Always. So here's the deal. The 1965 no-mint mark penny might look ordinary, but it's anything but. If you're lucky enough to find one that was struck on a silver planchet and is in mint condition, you could be sitting on a $5 million treasure. Don't let these opportunities slip through your fingers like I almost did. Go check your penny jars, that old piggy bank, or even the random coins in your car cup holder. You never know when you might stumble upon your jackpot. And if you love learning about coins worth real money, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more stories, tips, and strategies to help you turn your pocket change into life-changing cash. Now, go start your penny hunt, and let me know in the comments if you find anything cool. Today, we're talking about the 2020 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter. That's right, a quarter worth more than most people's houses. So grab your coin jars because the story might just change your life, or at least make you dig through your couch cushions a lot more carefully. Okay, let's dive right in. The 2020 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter looks like a pretty normal coin at first glance. It has the standard George Washington profile on the front, looking all serious like he just found out we stopped wearing powdered wigs. But flip it over, and on the reverse you'll see a lovely design of Ellis Island. It's a nod to one of America's most iconic landmarks and a reminder that your family might have rolled through there with dreams of, eventually creating this $1 million quarter. So what makes this coin worth $1 million? Is it made of solid gold? Did George Washington sign it? Nope. It's all about rarity, folks. Most of these quarters are just your run-of-the-mill pocket change, but a handful, literally a handful, have a unique minting error. It's like winning the genetic lottery, but for coins. These error coins have subtle misprints or flaws that drive collectors wild. And here's the kicker. One of these bad boys sold for a jaw-dropping $1 million at auction. That's 1,000 times its face value. Quick side story, this happened to me once. No, I didn't find $1 million coin, but I did once dig through a jar of change thinking I might strike it rich. Spoiler alert, I didn't. But I did find a quarter from 1972 with a dent in it. I was so excited I called a coin expert, and you know what they said? Ma'am, that's just damage from a lawnmower. Moral of the story? Not every coin is a winner, but you've got to try, right? Anyway, back to the 2020 Ellis Island quarter. To spot one of these rare coins, you'll need to look closely, like really closely. You're looking for tiny errors like doubling on the text or a misalignment in the image. If you've got one of these congratulations, you've hit the jackpot. And if not, well, you've still got 25 cents, which is better than nothing. Now, if you're thinking, okay, but how do I know my coin is worth $1 million? That's where the professionals come in. You can send your coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They're basically the coin world's version of Antiques Roadshow. They'll authenticate it and give it a grade. If it's a high-grade error coin, you could be sitting on a fortune. So here's the deal, folks. That humble little quarter in your pocket could be worth more than your car, your house, or even your entire student loan debt. How crazy is that? If this video has you sprinting to your coin jar or rummaging through the change in your car, I've done my job. But hey, before you go, don't forget to smash that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out on more amazing tips about coins worth big money. Who knows? Your next great discovery could be right in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting. Friends, now go check your change. You might be sitting on $1 million fortune right now. Today, we're diving into a coin that might just make your wildest dreams come true. The 2015 Ellis Island Washington quarter. Yep, this little beauty has turned heads in the coin world because its current market value is a jaw-dropping $5 million. That's right, $5 million for a quarter. So, before you go spending your change on vending machine snacks, stick around. You could be holding your retirement fund without even knowing it. Alright, so let's talk about what makes the 2015 Ellis Island quarter so special. First off, it's part of the America the Beautiful series, which celebrates national parks and historical landmarks. Ellis Island, the iconic gateway to America for millions of immigrants, is featured on the reverse of this coin. But here's the kicker, not all of these coins are worth a fortune. The one we're talking about is extremely rare because of a unique minting error. Now, before you go grabbing every quarter in sight, let me explain. The $5 million Ellis Island quarter is one of a kind due to a rare double die error. Basically, some of the lettering on the coin appears slightly doubled, almost like it had one too many cups of coffee and got a little jittery during minting. This error is incredibly hard to spot with the naked eye, but collectors? Oh, they'll pay top dollar for it. And by top dollar, I mean enough to buy you a yacht, a mansion, and probably a lifetime supply of pizza. Speaking of pizza, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of months ago, I was cleaning out my car. You know, the kind of cleaning where you find loose change, old receipts, and enough crumbs to feed a small village. I came across a quarter that looked a little off. I squinted, Googled, and almost passed out when I thought it might be the Ellis Island error coin. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But for a glorious 20 minutes, I was planning how to tell my boss I was retiring early. Moral of the story? Always double-check your coins. You just never know. Now, if you're wondering how to spot one of these, here's the deal. Grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the lettering on the reverse of the coin. If you see any doubling, congratulations. You might be sitting on a fortune. And if you don't have a magnifying glass, no worries, you can get one for like $10 on Amazon. Trust me, it's a solid investment if you're serious about hunting for treasure in your pocket change. Alright folks, let's recap. The 2015 Ellis Island quarter is the ultimate underdog story of the coin world, from 25 cents to $5 million, all because of a little minting mishap. If you've got some spare change lying around, it's time to channel your inner Sherlock Holmes and start investigating. Who knows? You could be one coin away from changing your life forever. And hey, if you found this video helpful, funny, or just mildly entertaining, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. I post weekly tips on coins worth money, strategies to grow your collection, and how to turn your spare change into serious cash. Hit that bell icon so you don't miss out, because you never know when I'll drop another $1 million coin story. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and jaw-dropping story of the 2003 Ellis Island Washington quarter that's making headlines for its mind-blowing value. But before we get started, quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at your pocket change? Yeah, me neither, until I found a coin that made me question every quarter I've ever spent. Stick around, because not only will I tell you why this quarter is worth more than some houses, but I'll also share a fun story about my own coin hunt. Spoiler alert, it involves a yard sale and a lot of snacks. Okay, first let's talk about the basics of this quarter. The 2003 Ellis Island Washington quarter is part of the State Quarter series, a hugely popular collection that launched in 1999 and ran through 2008. Each state got its own design, and New Jersey hit US with Ellis Island, a symbol of hope, history, and now apparently serious cash. Now you're probably wondering, why on earth would any quarter be worth $3 million? Great question. It's all about rarity, condition, and errors. The 2003 Ellis Island quarter became legendary because of a unique minting error. Some quarters were accidentally struck on experimental planchets. That's coin nerd speak for metal blanks. These planchets weren't supposed to be used for quarters, making these coins ridiculously rare. Imagine finding a typo in the Constitution. That's how big a deal this is for coin collectors. But wait, there's more. The most valuable ones are in pristine condition, meaning they've never been tossed in a vending machine or rattled around in someone's car cup holder. One of these beauties recently sold at auction for, drumroll please, $3 million. That's the kind of money that makes you rethink ever using quarters to do laundry. Now, here's where my relatable and slightly embarrassing story comes in. A few months ago, I went to this yard sale. You know the kind. Lots of dusty knickknacks, old board games missing half the pieces, and a suspiciously large pile of mismatched socks. Anyway, I spotted a jar of coins for $5 and thought, why not? Worst case, I break even on laundry money. I spent the next 3 days sorting through the coins, fueled by an alarming amount of coffee and Cheetos dust, only to realize I didn't hit the jackpot. No $3 million quarter for me, just a Canadian dime and a weird token for free car washes. But here's the thing. That jar reignited my love for coin collecting. And now, every time I get change, I take a closer look. Who knows? Maybe my treasure is still out there, waiting for me to stumble across it. So, what's the takeaway here? Never underestimate your spare change. The 2003 Ellis Island, Washington quarter is proof that treasures can be hiding in plain sight, just waiting for someone to uncover them. Who knows? The next time you're buying a coffee or digging through your couch cushions, you might just find a coin worth millions. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could change your life, literally, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover the hidden value in your pocket change. The next time someone tries to pay you back in quarters, maybe take a second look before you say no. That shiny little coin might just be your ticket to millionaire status. Today, we're talking about a humble coin that could quite literally change your life, the 1999 Ellis Island, Washington quarter. Yep, this little piece of pocket change could be worth up to $9 million today. $9 million. I mean, at this point, it's not a quarter, it's a jackpot. Before we dive into what makes this coin so special and how to know if you've struck gold, well, technically silver, make sure to smash that like button. Trust me, this is a video you don't want to miss if you love finding treasure in the most unexpected places, so let's break it down. The 1999 Ellis Island, Washington quarter isn't your ordinary coin. Sure, it might look like something you'd toss into a vending machine or leave in your car cup holder, but hold your horses. This coin is part of the 50 States Quarters program, which minted quarters celebrating each state. This particular one features Ellis Island in New Jersey, Lady Liberty on the reverse side and the iconic George Washington on the front, as always. But here's the kicker. Not all 1999 quarters are created equal. The one we're talking about is a rare error coin. Somewhere along the minting process, a cosmic oops happened, and the result? A misstrike that collectors today would pay millions for. I mean, $9 million for a quarter. It's like finding out that old pair of sneakers you've been wearing are actually signed by Michael Jordan himself. Now, a little personal story here. A couple of years ago, I was at a flea market rummaging through a box of coins labeled 25 cents each. Classic, right? I thought, hey, I'll grab a few just for fun. Later, I'm sitting at home with a coffee in one hand and a magnifying glass in the other. Because why not? And guess what? I found a weird 1999 quarter. My heart stopped. I thought, oh my gosh, could this be the one? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But hey, it was still worth a couple $100. And for 25 cents, that's a win in my book. Now, back to our $9 million star. What makes it so valuable? It's all about condition and rarity. First, the error needs to be clearly visible, like double die strikes or off-center designs. Then, you'll want it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. They'll give it a grade, and the higher the grade, the higher the value. And if it's in mint state condition, well, congrats, you might just be sitting on a fortune. Speaking of condition, don't go scrubbing your coins with soap and water. I know the urge to shine them up is real, but trust me, that's a one-way ticket to ruining the value. Just leave it as is. Think of it as vintage charm. Okay. Now, if you're wondering where to start looking for one of these bad boys, here's the deal. Check your pocket change, go through your coin jar, and hit up flea markets, garage sales, and estate sales. Who knows? Your next coffee run could come with a side of $9 million. And don't forget to look carefully. This is the type of treasure that hides in plain sight. Alright folks, that's the lowdown on the 1999 D. Ellis Island, Washington quarter. It's proof that sometimes the smallest things in life can have the biggest impact, literally and financially. So what are you waiting for? Go grab a magnifying glass and start hunting through your change. And hey, if you enjoyed this video or learned something new, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more coin tips, tricks, and stories coming your way. Who knows? The next video might just help you uncover your own hidden treasure. Today we're talking about the 1995 D. Ellis Island, Washington quarter. Yep, a simple quarter that could change your life. No genie in a bottle required. Now, I know what you're thinking. A quarter? Really? That thing can't even buy me a gumball anymore. But trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. So grab your coin jar, your wallet, or that mysterious stash of loose change in your car's cup holder, because by the end of this video, you might just find out you've been sitting on a jackpot. And stick around, because I'm also going to share a quick story about the time I thought I hit the coin jackpot, and how it ended with a very awkward trip to the bank. Spoiler, it was not $5 million. Alright, so let's get into it. The 1995 D. Ellis Island, Washington quarter. At first glance, it looks like your average, run-of-the-mill quarter. George Washington's stoic face on one side, the beautiful depiction of Ellis Island on the back. But what makes this one so special? Well, here's the deal. A limited number of these quarters were struck with a unique error at the Denver Mint. The error is known as a double die obverse. Basically, this means the design on the front of the coin was struck twice, creating a subtle but visible doubling effect on the text and features. Look closely at words like liberty or in God we trust. If they look a little fuzzy or doubled, congratulations, you might have the holy grail of quarters. So, why is this coin worth $5 million? Great question. Turns out, collectors go wild for these kinds of errors, especially when they're rare. And the 1995 D. Ellis Island quarter with this particular error is one of the rarest out there. Only a handful are known to exist, and one of them sold at auction for, you guessed it, $5 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, I'm convinced. How do I know if I've got one of these quarters? First, grab a magnifying glass or, let's be real, use your phone's zoom feature. Examine the coin carefully, especially the lettering on the front. If you see doubling, you're in business. Oh, and make sure it's a 1995 D. That little D mint mark under the date? That's your ticket to potential riches. Here's where it gets funny. A couple of years ago, I found a quarter with what I thought was the same doubling effect. My heart was racing. I was already mentally spending my millions. New car? Check. Fancy vacation? Absolutely. Then I went to a coin appraiser only to find out that the doubling was actually just dirt. Yep, dirt. I spent an entire week bragging to my friends about my $1 million coin, only to end up washing it off and using it to pay for parking. The moral of the story? Clean your coins before you get too excited. Now, if you do find a legitimate 1995 D. Ellis Island quarter with this error, don't go spending it on snacks just yet. You'll want to get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm its authenticity and assign it a grade, which is like a report card for coins. The better the grade, the higher the value. So there you have it. The incredible story of a humble quarter that could be worth $5 million. Who knew pocket change could be so exciting? Remember, not every coin is going to be a jackpot, but it's worth taking a closer look. After all, even if you don't find the $5 million treasure, you might still discover something cool. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins, valuable pennies, and tips for spotting hidden treasures in your change, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications too. I post videos like this all the time, and you don't want to miss the next big discovery. Now go raid your coin jar, check your wallet, and maybe even dig between the couch cushions. Who knows? Your financial future might just be waiting for you in the form of a shiny little quarter. Today we're talking about the 1980 No Mint Mark Washington quarter. A coin so rare and valuable it could pay off your student loans, buy you a Tesla, and still leave you with enough to splurge on avocado toast for life. But why is this quarter worth so much? What makes it a millionaire's dream? And here's the real kicker. Could you have one hiding in your couch cushions right now? Stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this coin is so valuable, but also how to check if you've hit the jackpot. Alright, let's get into it. First, what's the deal with this 1980 No Mint Mark Washington quarter? Well, to understand its value, you've got to know a bit about mint marks. Normally, quarters have a little letter on them, P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, or S for San Francisco, that tells you where they were made. But the 1980 No Mint Mark quarter has got no letter. Zilch. Nada. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so they forgot to stamp it. Big whoop. But here's the thing. Mistakes in the coin world are like typos in a love letter. They're rare, noticeable, and for some reason, people love them. This particular No Mint Mark quarter was part of a batch accidentally released without the proper stamp. And because so few of them exist, collectors are willing to throw down some serious cash to get their hands on one. How serious, you ask? Try a cool $1 million. Yep, just last year, one of these bad boys sold at auction for $1 million. To put that into perspective, that's 4 million regular quarters. Or, as I like to call it, enough money to actually afford rent in New York City for a couple of years. Now, here's the funny part. I actually had a similar experience, not with this coin, but with a rare 1-cent penny. Back in college, I found a penny with a weird double stamp on it. I thought, hey, this looks funky. Turns out it was worth $500. I sold it, treated myself to a steak dinner, and then spent the rest on textbooks I never read. Lesson learned. Always check your change before spending it.so. How do you check if you've got one of these elusive 1980 No Mint Mark quarters? First, grab a magnifying glass, or, if you're like me and always losing things, just use your phone's zoom feature. Look at the front of the coin just below the date. If you don't see a little P, D, or S, you might be in business. But, and this is important, just because it's missing the mint mark doesn't guarantee it's worth millions. Condition matters a lot. If your quarter looks like it's been through a garbage disposal, collectors won't be as interested. And don't forget to double-check with a professional grader or appraiser. There are lots of fakes out there, and you don't want to be the person who thinks they've struck gold only to find out they've been duped. Trust me, that's the kind of heartbreak that even chocolate can't fix. So there you have it, the 1980 No Mint Mark Washington quarter. $1 million coin hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone lucky enough to discover it. Who knows? That someone could be you. Before you go running off to raid your coin jar, do me a quick favor. If you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, hit that subscribe button. I post videos like this all the time, helping you uncover hidden treasures in your everyday life. And hey, even if you don't have a $1 million quarter, maybe you've got a $100 penny or a $50 nickel. You'll never know unless you keep watching. Now go check your quarters, and don't forget to come back and tell me if you find one. Who knows? You might just become the next coin millionaire. Good luck, and happy hunting. Today, we're talking about the 1968 No Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar, also known as the Elvis of quarters. Rare, legendary, and everyone wants a piece. Stick around because we're diving into what makes this coin so special, how it could change your life, and why you should never underestimate those dusty old coins at the bottom of your junk drawer. So here's the deal. The 1968 No Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar wasn't supposed to exist. It's basically the rebellious teenager of the coin world. Didn't follow the rules, skipped the minting process correctly, and now it's a superstar. These coins were accidentally struck without a mint mark, which means they weren't stamped with the location of the mint where they were produced. No P, no D, no S, nothing. Naked as a jaybird. Now, let me tell you why this matters. Coins are like humans, we love labels. That little mint mark tells collectors where the coin came from. When it's missing, it's like finding a VIP pass to coin collector heaven. Add to that the fact that only a few of these coins ever made it into circulation, and you've got a recipe for an $8 million jackpot. But wait, it gets better. You don't need a treasure map or a pirate's chest to find one of these. Just check your couch cushions, your car's cup holder, or that old pickle jar where you throw spare change. I once found a coin worth $20 in the center console of my car, right next to an expired coupon for free fries. Sure, it wasn't $8 million, but hey, 20 bucks is 20 bucks. Right now, let's break it down. Why would someone pay $8 million for a quarter? Collectors are funny that way. It's all about rarity, condition, and history. If you have one of these coins in mint condition, meaning it hasn't been used much, hasn't been scratched up from years of vending machine battles, you're sitting on a gold mine, or should I say a quarter mine. And if you're thinking, okay, this sounds cool, but what are the chances I actually have one of these? Well, slim, but not impossible. Here's a fun fact. People do randomly discover rare coins all the time. A guy in California found a rare penny worth thousands in an old coffee can. True story. So why not you? Never overlook your spare change. That jingling in your pocket could be your ticket to financial freedom, or at least a pretty great story to tell at parties. So, grab a magnifying glass, dig through those coins, and who knows? You might just stumble upon the legendary 1968 no mint mark Washington quarter dollar. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Trust me, you don't want to miss my next video where we'll talk about a coin that might be hiding in plain sight at your local laundromat. Subscribe now, and let's find that treasure together. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting! Today, we're talking about the 1979 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why this little copper coin could change your life, or at least pay off your student loans. So, here's the deal. The 1979 penny without a mint mark might look like any other penny. It's got Abraham Lincoln on the front, the classic memorial reverse on the back. Nothing too flashy. But here's where things get spicy. No mint mark means this penny was made in Philadelphia. Back then, Philly didn't bother stamping their coins with a little p, which makes these pennies somewhat unique. But here's the kicker. Not every 1979 no mint mark penny is worth millions. In fact, most are worth, well, a penny. What makes certain ones hit the jackpot is their condition and rarity. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists. Yes, that's a fancy word, but let's roll with it. Are willing to shell out insane amounts for pennies that are in mint state condition. Translation: they look like they just came off the press yesterday, shiny and perfect. Now, here's the wild part. Recently, a 1979 no mint mark penny in pristine condition sold for a jaw-dropping $9 million at auction. That's not a typo million. I mean, can you imagine explaining that to your family? Hey mom, I'm rich, thanks to this random penny I found under the couch cushions. Speaking of random finds, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I found a super old penny while cleaning out my car. It was covered in gum, glitter, and what I can only hope was chocolate. I thought, hey, what if this thing is worth money? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it made me realize how easily we overlook these tiny treasures in our everyday lives. And now I'm always on the lookout for rare coins, no gum allowed this time. Anyway, back to the 1979 penny. If you're wondering whether your spare change might hold a hidden fortune, here's what you need to do. First, grab a magnifying glass or just squint really hard. It's up to you. Look for that no mint mark under the date. Next, check the coin's condition. Does it look shiny and flawless? Or does it look like it's been through a war? If it's the latter, sorry, it's probably not worth millions, but hey, it's still a cool piece of history. Now, let's talk about why these coins are worth so much. The value comes down to supply and demand. Coin collectors love a good challenge, and finding a near-perfect 1979 penny without a mint mark is like finding a needle in a haystack. Plus, these coins are part of the Lincoln penny series, which is one of the most collected coins in U.S. history. Combine all that, and you've got the perfect recipe for a $9 million penny. So what's the takeaway here? Check your pocket change, folks. That penny sitting in your car cup holder could be worth a fortune. And even if you don't find a $9 million treasure, Learning about these coins is such a fun way to connect with history, and maybe even make a little extra cash. If you found this video helpful or just mildly entertaining, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Join our coin-loving community for more tips on spotting hidden treasures, collecting rare coins, and turning your spare change into big bucks. Who knows? Maybe next time it'll be your story we're sharing about $1 million coin. Alright folks, happy hunting, and remember, every penny counts. Today, we're diving into the mystery and madness of the 1986 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, the humble coin that's now turning heads in the collector's market. Buckle up, because this story will blow your mind and maybe have you raiding your coin jar by the end. Let's get into it. So, what's so special about this 1986 penny? On the surface, it looks like just another Lincoln cent. No flashy designs, no bold D or S mint marks to give it away as something rare. But that's where it gets interesting. This penny comes from the Philadelphia Mint, which doesn't add mint marks to most of their coins. So, if your penny doesn't have a mint mark, don't freak out just yet. It's totally normal. But here's the twist. Not all no-mint mark 1986 pennies are created equal. The one that sold for $6 million was in pristine condition, like absolutely flawless. Coin collectors call it MS68 Red, which is basically the supermodel of pennies. Think of it this way. If regular pennies are the everyday selfies we post online, this penny is the filtered, perfectly lit Instagram photo that breaks the algorithm. Its color, shine, and condition were so perfect, a collector couldn't resist shelling out an unbelievable amount of cash for it. Now, let's talk market value. Before you start dreaming about quitting your job, there's a catch. The $6 million sale was for an exceptional coin. Most 1986 no-mint mark pennies are worth, well, 1 cent. Maybe a few dollars if they're in good shape. But here's the good news. Checking your coins costs nothing. I once found a penny in my car cup holder that looked weird, like it had been sunbathing for years. I took it to a coin shop thinking it was rare. Spoiler alert, it wasn't, but the guy gave me a free history lesson on pennies, so that was cool. Pro tip, always check your change. You never know when you might stumble on something valuable. So, what makes a penny like this worth millions? It's all about rarity, condition, and a sprinkle of good luck. Coins graded as MS68 or higher are extremely rare, especially for everyday pennies. And if you're lucky enough to find one, collectors will throw some serious cash your way. Just imagine telling your friends, "Hey, I sold a penny and paid off my mortgage. How's that for a conversation starter?" So, here's the deal. The 1986 no-mint mark penny could be worth millions, but only if it's in jaw-dropping condition. Still, it doesn't hurt to check your coins, right? Who knows, maybe you're sitting on a gold mine of copper in your pocket right now. If you're curious about how to spot rare coins or want more tips on coins worth money, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got tons of stories, tips, and strategies to help you cash in on your change. Hit that like button, leave a comment about your weirdest coin find, and share this video with a friend who always steals your pennies. Let's turn pocket change into big change together. Today, we're talking about the 1987 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that could turn your loose change into a life-changing jackpot. So, grab your pennies, folks, because this story is as wild as it gets. And spoiler alert, you might never look at a penny the same way again. Okay, let's dive in. First, what's so special about the 1987 D penny? I mean, it's just a penny, right? Wrong. This little copper-plated treasure is one of the most sought-after coins in the world. Why? It all comes down to rarity and some wild market hype. Coins like these often have unique errors or conditions that make collectors drool. And when collectors drool, prices skyrocket. The current market value, a staggering $7 million. Yes, you could literally trade one penny for a mansion, a couple of sports cars, and still have enough left over to start your own coin collection empire. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was rummaging through an old jar of coins at my grandma's house. You know, the type, rusty jar, probably hasn't been opened since the Reagan administration. I pull out this dingy penny, squint at it, and see the D-Mint mark. My heart skips a beat. Could it be the legendary 1987 D penny? I rushed home, Googled it only to realize It wasn't the one. It was just a regular OL penny, worth 1 cent. 1 cent. But that moment taught me something. You never know what treasures are hiding in plain sight. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. It's like treasure hunting, but you don't need a map or a pirate ship. Now, here's the catch with the 1987 D penny. Not every single one is worth millions. It has to be in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state. That means no scratches, no wear, and definitely no gum stuck to it from when you dropped it at the mall in '97. If your penny looks like it's been through a war, it's probably just worth, well, a penny. But if you do find one in near-perfect condition, you could be sitting on a gold mine. And hey, even if you don't, who doesn't love a good excuse to go through their change jar? It's like playing the lottery, but way less expensive. Alright, coin enthusiasts, here's your mission. Check your pockets, your piggy banks, that old jar on your dresser, and even the cushions of your couch. Who knows? The next 1987 D penny could be right under your nose, waiting to make you a millionaire. And hey, if you found this video fun, informative, or even just slightly entertaining, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money coming your way. Let's turn pocket change into life-changing cash. Together, today we're diving into the wild, wonderful world of the 1993 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and why one of these little guys is worth more than a mansion. Let's get into it. Okay, so first let's break it down. The 1993 D Mint Mark penny was minted in Denver, like millions of other pennies. Nothing unusual, right? But here's where things get spicy. One of these pennies managed to slip through the cracks with a major error. Error coins are like the Kardashians of the coin world. Rare, flashy, and worth talking about. The penny we're talking about has some kind of crazy minting error. Something so unique that collectors are losing their minds over it. Now, no one's exactly sure what made this specific penny worth $3 million. Some say it might be a rare double-die error or even a material mix-up. But what we do know is that it's out there, and it's valuable enough to make someone a millionaire. Here's the kicker. Most people probably won't even recognize it if they see it. It's literally hiding in plain sight. Imagine this. You grab your morning coffee at the gas station, toss the cashier a handful of change, and walk away, leaving behind a penny worth millions. That's the kind of stuff that'll keep you up at night, right? Now, quick story time. A couple of years ago, I started casually collecting coins. It all started when my grandma gave me a jar of pennies she'd been saving for decades. One day, I decided to look through them for fun, thinking, hey, maybe I'll find something cool. Spoiler alert, I didn't find a $3 million penny, but I did find one worth about $50, which, let's be honest, isn't too shabby for something that was literally sitting in an old cookie jar. From that day on, I've been hooked. And this is why I love talking about coins like the 1993 D penny. It's a reminder that you don't need to be an expert or have some fancy equipment to get started. All you need is curiosity, a little patience, and maybe a magnifying glass if your eyesight is as questionable as mine. So how do you know if you have this magic $3 million penny? First, look for the D mint mark, which you'll find just below the year. Next, you'll want to examine the penny for any unusual details. Things like doubling on the lettering or weird patterns in the design. If you spot something odd, don't freak out just yet. You'll need to get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service, like PCGS or NGC. These folks will verify if you've got the real deal or just an overhyped penny. And here's a pro tip. If you don't already have a coin jar, start one today. Even if you don't find the $3 million penny, you might stumble across something worth a couple $100. And let's be honest, how many hobbies can actually pay you back? Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1993 D Mint Mark penny is proof that the smallest, most overlooked things in life can hold incredible value. So the next time you get change, don't just toss it in a jar or let it roll around in your car. Take a closer look. Who knows, you might just hit the jackpot. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins worth money, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could seriously change your life. And hey, leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're just hoping to someday. Today, we're talking about the 1994 No Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. A tiny piece of copper that's turning heads and flipping wallets because its current market value is a jaw-dropping $4 million. Yup, you heard that right. $4 million. So, stick around because I'm breaking down why this penny is worth more than your car, your house, and probably your grandma's secret cookie recipe combined. Let's dive in. Okay, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my attic, one of those new year, new me decluttering moments that never really lasts. I found this dusty shoebox filled with old coins. I didn't think much of it, but then I remembered hearing about rare pennies that are worth crazy amounts of money. So, I grabbed a magnifying glass. Okay, it was my phone flashlight, and started inspecting them like a wannabe Sherlock Holmes. I didn't find anything worth millions. But one coin caught my eye, a 1994 penny. Now, if you've ever felt that tiny glimmer of hope, you know the feeling I'm talking about. Turns out mine was just a regular penny. But that day, I learned about the legendary 1994 no-mint mark penny, and I've been obsessed ever since. So, what's the deal with this coin? Well, let's break it down. First off, the no-mint mark part means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which typically doesn't include a mint mark on their coins. But here's the kicker, most 1994 pennies are, well, just pennies. What makes this one special is a rare production error or anomaly that makes it one of a kind. Collectors go bananas for this stuff. And that brings us to the juicy part, the value. Why $4 million? It's all about rarity, demand, and the deep pockets of collectors. Imagine owning the Mona Lisa of pennies. That's basically what this coin is to the numismatic world. People will pay top dollar, or in this case, millions, for a piece of history that's practically impossible to find. It's like winning the lottery, but with way more copper. Now, before you go tearing apart your piggy bank or harassing your grandparents for their coin jars, let me just say, finding one of these is like spotting Bigfoot riding a unicorn. It's rare, like really rare. But hey, who doesn't love the thrill of the hunt? Plus, even if you don't find this particular penny, there are tons of other coins out there worth some serious cash. I mean, who knew tiny pieces of metal could pay off your mortgage? Also, can we just take a moment to appreciate the irony here? A penny, literally the coin we ignore on sidewalks, toss in fountains, or let rattle around in our car cup holders, is out here being worth more than a beachfront mansion. Life is wild. All right, folks, here's the bottom line. That 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is proof that big things really do come in small packages. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone with a jar of spare change, it never hurts to take a closer look. Who knows? You might be sitting on a gold mine or, well, a copper mine technically. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want more tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could change your life, hit that subscribe button. I'm here to help you turn pocket change into big bucks. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your fellow treasure hunters, and drop a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're about to go dig through your couch cushions right now. What if I told you that a penny, yes, a single, tiny, copper-colored penny, could be worth $8 million? No, I'm not pulling your leg, and this isn't some wild eBay listing by someone with a bad sense of humor. We're talking about the 2018 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and why this little coin is making collectors lose their minds. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just start checking every penny in your wallet with a magnifying glass. Spoiler alert, I do this at gas stations. And if you want more tips on spotting treasure in your spare change, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, your piggy bank will thank you later. All right, let's dive in. The 2018 D-Mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, as the D indicates. Now, normally, pennies from this year don't exactly scream fortune. In fact, you've probably tossed a few of these into a tip jar without a second thought. But here's the kicker. There's a very special error version of this coin that's worth a staggering $8 million. Yes, $8 million. That's like buying a mansion, a sports car, and still having enough left over for a lifetime supply of tacos. So, what makes this penny so valuable? It's all about a rare minting error. Some of these coins were accidentally struck on the wrong planchet. Instead of the standard zinc and copper alloy, they were struck on a leftover bronze planchet from decades ago. Imagine finding a penny with a secret identity. It's like the Clark Kent of coins. The error wasn't supposed to happen, but boy, are collectors glad it did. There are only a handful of these error pennies out there, and the scarcity is what drives up the value. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, except the needle is made of gold, and the haystack is your spare change. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my car, and I found a penny stuck under the floor mat. It was crusty, dirty, and frankly, looked like it had been through some stuff. I almost threw it away, but then I thought, what if this is one of those pennies? So, I grabbed a magnifying glass and spent the next 20 minutes analyzing that thing like I was auditioning for CSI Coin Edition. Spoiler alert, it was just a regular penny. But hey, it got me in the habit of checking my change, and you better believe I'm still on the hunt for that $8 million jackpot. If you're wondering how to spot this rare 2018 D penny, here's what to do. Grab a magnifying glass or one of those phone camera zoom apps and look for the D mint mark under the year. Then check the color and weight. If it looks a little more bronze than usual or feels heavier than a standard penny, you might have struck gold or, well, bronze in this case. You can also weigh your penny on a small scale. Regular 2018 pennies weigh about 2.5 grams, but the error pennies will weigh closer to 3.1 grams because of the bronze composition. So, there you have it, the 2018 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could turn your spare change into life-changing money. If you've got a stash of coins lying around, now's the time to dig through them. Who knows? That penny hiding at the bottom of your junk drawer might just pay off your student loans. Before you go, do me a favor. Smash that like button if you learned something new today, and hit subscribe so you don't miss out on more tips about coins worth money. I've got plenty of strategies to help you spot the treasures hiding in plain sight. And if you do find one of these $8 million pennies, don't forget who sent you on this treasure hunt. Just kidding. Kind of. Alright. Today, we're diving into the story of the 2021 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, the one that's turning ordinary folks into accidental millionaires. Yeah, you heard me right. A penny worth $1 million. Who says pennies don't add up? So, grab your coffee, your jar of loose change, and maybe a magnifying glass, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot one of these elusive treasures. And who knows, you might already have one just chilling in your couch cushions. Alright, so here's the deal. The 2021 D mint mark penny was just like any other penny. Until it wasn't. Minted in Denver, this little copper-coated coin hit the jackpot in the collector's world. Why? It's all about a rare minting error that makes this penny a superstar. We're talking about a misstrike that gives it a unique, one-of-a-kind appearance. Think of it like the Beyoncé of pennies, rare, flawless, and commanding attention. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A friend of mine, Steve, who usually pays for everything with exact change just to get rid of his pennies, found one of these 2021 D pennies at the gas station. He didn't think twice about it. Threw it in his pocket, used it to pay for a candy bar later, and went on with his day. When he heard about the $1 million penny a few weeks later, let me tell you, I've never seen a man regret eating a Snickers so much in my life. Moral of the story: always check your change before handing it over. So, what makes this penny worth $1 million? It's all about scarcity and desirability. There's a minting error known as a double die obverse, which means Lincoln's face or some lettering might appear doubled. Combine that with the fact that only a handful of these error coins slipped into circulation, and you've got a recipe for collectors losing their minds and opening their wallets. Now, how can you tell if you've got one? First, look for the D mint mark just below the date. Next, inspect the coin closely. Does Lincoln look like he's had one too many cups of coffee and his face is slightly blurry or doubled? Or maybe the letters are doing a weird shadow effect. That's your jackpot sign. And trust me, if you're not sure, don't be afraid to take it to an expert. Coin shops are a thing, people. They're like antique stores but for tiny metal treasures. And let's talk about the market value, $1 million. That's not just some made-up number. Collectors are actually paying that much for these rare beauties. Imagine turning a single penny into a mansion, a sports car, or, I don't know, a lifetime supply of tacos. The possibilities are endless. So, here's the takeaway. Next time you're about to toss that insignificant penny aside, take a closer look. Who knows? That tiny coin could be the key to early retirement, or at least a really, really nice vacation. If you loved this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, strategies for building your collection, or just fun stories about everyday people striking it rich, hit that subscribe button. Seriously, join our community of coin geeks. You'll never look at your change the same way again. And hey, drop a comment below. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Or are you now inspired to raid your piggy bank? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Today, we're diving into the 2008 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth, brace yourselves, a jaw-dropping $8 million. Yeah, you heard me, $8 million for a penny. Don't worry. I'll tell you exactly why it's worth so much and how you can spot one. Plus, I'll share a little story about how I almost threw away a valuable penny once. Spoiler alert, I still cry about it sometimes, so grab your penny jars, get comfy, and let's talk about turning your loose change into life-changing money. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2008 D Mint Mark penny was minted in Denver, which is what the D stands for. Now, you're probably thinking, what's so special about a 2008 penny? I see these all the time, and that's a fair point. Most of them are worth, well, a penny. But there's a rare version of this coin, and it's like hitting the jackpot in the coin world. This $8 million beauty comes down to one thing: an error during production. Specifically, this penny has what's called a double die error. Basically, it looks like someone sneezed while engraving the coin. You'll notice things like Abraham Lincoln's profile or the lettering on the coin, like Liberty or In God We Trust, appear slightly doubled, almost like a blurry shadow. These errors are super rare because most of the time, the mint catches them before they're released. But every now and then, one sneaks out into the wild, and collectors go nuts for them. Now, let me give you a relatable example. A few years ago, I was sorting through a jar of coins. I know, Wild Friday night, right? When I found a penny that looked weird. The date looked funny, but I didn't think much of it. I tossed it back into the jar and forgot about it. Weeks later, I saw an article about a valuable error coin, and guess what? It matched the description of the penny I had tossed aside. I still check that jar sometimes, hoping it's hiding at the bottom, but nope, gone forever. Moral of the story? Never underestimate your pocket change. Back to the 2008 penny. If you want to spot one, grab a magnifying glass or your phone's camera. Who owns a magnifying glass these days? And look closely at the details. Check the D Mint mark under the date and inspect the text for any doubling. If you see anything suspicious, it's time to get that coin authenticated. And here's the kicker: why is it worth $8 million? Well, collectors are basically the treasure hunters of the modern world. They're willing to shell out big bucks for rare finds. And this penny is a crown jewel because it combines rarity with a fascinating error. It's the ultimate bragging right. Imagine being the person who finds it. Your life could literally change overnight. So, the next time you see a penny, don't just brush it off like it's worthless. That little copper coin might be holding the key to your millionaire dreams. Trust me, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. If you found this video helpful, or at least mildly entertaining, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I share tips on coins worth money, how to spot valuable errors, and strategies to turn your pocket change into a treasure chest. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment if you've ever found a rare coin, and share this with a friend who's constantly complaining about being broke. Maybe they've got $8 million sitting in their wallet. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time you hear someone say, "It's just a penny," you can tell them, not all pennies are created equal. We're diving deep into why this tiny coin is worth big bucks, how you can find one, and what makes it so special. Plus, I've got a little story about how I almost threw away a coin worth thousands. Spoiler alert, it still keeps me up at night. Okay, first things first, what's the deal with the 1979 D penny? Why would anyone in their right mind shell out $9 million for one? It all comes down to rarity and condition. See, not all pennies are created equal. Some have unique minting errors or pristine conditions that make them insanely valuable to collectors. And this penny? Oh, it's the creme de la creme of rare coins. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The D Mint mark on this penny means it was struck in Denver. Normally, 1979 pennies aren't anything to write home about. Billions were made, and most of them are worth, well, a penny. But this specific coin is a one-of-a-kind error. We're talking a minting fluke so rare it might as well be a unicorn riding a rainbow point, one of the key features of this $9 million beauty. It's said to have a double die obverse. That's a fancy way of saying the front of the coin, where Lincoln's face is, has been stamped twice, creating a shadowy, doubled effect. Think of it as the coin equivalent of seeing double after pulling an all-nighter. And then there's the condition. This penny has been graded as near perfect. Coin collectors are obsessed with something called the Sheldon scale, which ranks coins from 1 to 70. The $9 million penny is at the very top, practically untouched, as if it's been chilling in a time capsule since the 70s. Now, let me tell you why this story hits close to home. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer, and I found a jar of pennies. Like any normal person, I was about to take them to the bank for one of those coin machines, you know, the ones that gobble up your coins and spit out a receipt. But then I thought, wait, what if one of these is worth something? So I started Googling, and let me tell you, I went down a rabbit hole of rare coin stories. Turns out, I had a 1943 steel penny worth a couple $100. Not bad for a random coin jar, right? But here's the kicker. I almost threw away a 1972 double die penny worth $800. Lesson learned, always check your change.so. How can you strike gold, or in this case, copper? Start by inspecting your pennies. Grab a magnifying glass or use your phone's zoom feature and look closely at the date and mint mark. If you notice any doubling or unusual features, congratulations, you might have something special. And if you think you've hit the jackpot, don't just throw it up on eBay. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grader. That's the only way to know its true value, and who knows, you might be holding the next $9 million penny. Alright folks, now it's your turn. Go grab your jars of coins, empty your piggy banks, and take a good look at those 1979 D pennies. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. And hey, if you enjoyed this little dive into the world of valuable coins, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm here every week sharing tips, stories, and strategies to help you find coins worth big money. Who knows? Your next penny could pay for your dream vacation or your dream house. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next video. Did you know that you could be holding a 1976 D Lincoln penny worth up to $6 million? Yeah, you heard me right. $6 million. Forget digging for gold. Just check your couch cushions. Today, we're diving into why this seemingly ordinary penny is turning heads and making waves in the coin collecting world. So, grab your pocket change and let's get to it. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Okay, let's start with the basics. The 1976 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mark. It was part of the bicentennial celebration, and millions of these coins were struck. Now you're probably thinking, why on earth would anyone pay millions for a penny that's practically everywhere? Well, here's the thing. It's not just any 1976 D penny. It's a rare error coin. These little mistakes happen when the coin is mistruck or has a unique flaw, and collectors go absolutely bananas for them. The $1 million 1976 D penny is believed to have a super rare double die error. Basically, the design looks like it's been stamped twice, like the coin couldn't decide if it wanted to be a penny or a Picasso painting. The letters and numbers might look slightly blurry or doubled, especially on Liberty or the date. And because these coins were mass-produced, most of them are, well, just regular pennies. But those few rare ones with the error, they're like hitting the jackpot. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Back in the day, I used to help my grandpa sort coins. He was convinced he'd find the next big treasure in his jar of pennies. Spoiler alert, we didn't. But what we did find was a penny so dirty, we thought it might be a rare error coin. Turned out it was just chocolate. Moral of the story? Always double-check before you call the bank. Anyway, what makes this $6 million penny even cooler is the insane hype it's getting. Some of the highest graded versions have fetched jaw-dropping amounts at auctions. Imagine turning 1 cent into a life-changing fortune. Meanwhile, the rest of us are sitting here trying to budget gas money. Life, am I right? So, what can you do to see if you've struck gold, or in this case, copper? Start by digging through your change jar or old coin collections. Check the 1976 D pennies carefully, especially for any doubling on the lettering or date. You might even want to invest in a magnifying glass or, if you're fancy, one of those coin microscopes. If you think you've got the real deal, get it graded by a professional. And hey, even if your penny isn't worth 6 million bucks, who's to say it won't still buy you a soda? Either way, it's a win. If you found this helpful, or if you're now staring intensely at your pennies, smash that subscribe button for more tips on coins worth big money. I'm here to help you turn spare change into life change. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and let me know in the comments. What's the coolest coin you've ever found? Today, the 1972 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could change your life. And trust me, I've got a crazy story about how something like this almost happened to me. So grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into the world of rare pennies. Alright, so first things first, what is the deal with this 1972 penny? You might be thinking, it's just a penny. How valuable could it really be? Well, as they say, size doesn't matter when it comes to value, right? In fact, this little copper coin can fetch up to $2 million on the market. That's right, $2 million. Just one tiny penny could make you a millionaire if you find the right one now. I know what you're thinking. This must be some kind of crazy glitch in the Matrix. But nope, there is a super rare version of the 1972 penny with no mint mark. See, every penny that's made in the US has a mint mark, a small letter that tells you where it was made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the 1972 no mint mark penny? It's got no mint mark, and that's what makes it so valuable. So, why does that make this coin so special? The story goes that these no mint mark pennies were struck in Philadelphia and somehow, they slipped through the cracks. Most pennies from that year either have the D mint mark for Denver, or just the regular Philadelphia mint mark, but a few of them were somehow released without any mint mark at all. And because they're so rare, collectors go wild for them. Imagine walking into a coin shop and pulling out one of these babies. You'd probably get kicked out for causing a frenzy. Let me tell you a funny story. A few years ago, I was going through my old change jar, the one where I toss all the spare coins I find in my pockets, and I came across a 1972 penny. It was all crusty and looked like it had been through a couple of decades of hard work. But hey, it was from the 70s, so I held on to it. Fast forward a few months, and I'm watching this coin collector show where they talk about rare pennies, and bam, they mention the 1972 no mint mark penny. I almost fell off the couch. I ran to my jar, and what do I find? A regular old 1972 penny. No mint mark. Cue the dramatic sigh. I can laugh about it now, but man, I was this close to being the next coin millionaire. Now, if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare pennies, you could be looking at a price tag anywhere from $50,000 to a staggering $2 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $2 million. So, how do you know if you've got the real deal? Well, first, check for the lack of a mint mark. No mint mark at all is the key sign. Next, you'll want to inspect the coin's condition. If it's in great shape, I'm talking about minimal wear, no scratches, and a sharp design, the value goes way up. The more pristine, the more valuable. A coin in mint condition can be a jackpot. So, how can you spot other valuable coins hiding in your loose change? Well, here's a couple of tips. Coins with missing details, strange mint marks, or unusual patterns can be worth a lot more than their face value. A well-maintained coin is worth more than a worn-out one. The more you know about different coin types, the better your chances of finding a hidden gem. Now, I know what you're thinking. Where's my magnifying glass? I'm going through every penny in my piggy bank right now. And trust me, I get it. But remember, coin collecting is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep your eyes peeled for those rare finds, and who knows, maybe you'll uncover the next big one. And if you find a penny worth millions, you better send me an invite to the celebration. If you loved hearing about rare coins like this and want more tips and tricks on how to find valuable treasures, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on all the cool stuff we'll be uncovering together. Today we're talking about one coin that could make you rethink your loose change jar. Yes, you heard that right. That unassuming 1971 penny you've got sitting in your collection could be worth a whopping $1 million. Sounds like something out of a treasure hunt movie, right? But stick with me. I'm about to drop some knowledge that could make you the next coin millionaire, so grab your magnifying glass. And let's dive into why this humble little penny is causing such a stir in the coin world. Alright, let's get into the details of the 1971 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. You see, Most of the pennies you see floating around today have a mint mark on them, telling you where they were made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But the 1971 no mint mark penny? Well, that's a different story. It's got the year, it's got Abe's face on it, but no mint mark. So why does that matter? Here's the thing. In 1971, the US Mint did something a little odd. Some pennies just didn't get stamped with a mint mark at all. And while that doesn't sound like much, it actually creates a perfect storm for rarity. Now, don't get me wrong. There are plenty of pennies from 1971 floating around, but a no mint mark penny? Those babies are so rare, they're like the unicorns of the coin world. But what makes these pennies even more intriguing is the market value, as in, right now, one of these little guys could go for around $1 million. Yep, $1 million. And it all comes down to rarity and demand. Let me break it down a bit. Back in the 70s, they were just cranking out pennies by the truckload. So most of the pennies that didn't get a mint mark were either thrown into circulation without anyone noticing, or they just ended up in random collections. Fast forward to today, and they've become an elusive treasure. Only a handful of these pennies are thought to still be in circulation, and the collectors who know what they're worth are more than willing to drop serious cash to snag one. It's like the one-hit wonder of coins. Now, here's the kicker. A lot of these pennies were probably spent without a second thought, and some of them could still be chilling in your change jar, waiting for you to notice. I mean, I've had my fair share of change jars, and let me tell you, I found a few pennies that made me do a double take. I'll never forget the time I found a 1944 penny in my mom's jar when I was 10. I was convinced I was going to retire by the age of 30. Spoiler alert, it wasn't worth much, but hey, a guy can dream. So, how do you spot these $1 million pennies? It's simple. Check for that little blank spot where the mint mark should be. If your penny's a 1971 and there's nothing, that's your golden ticket. I always recommend checking the coin under good lighting, maybe with a magnifying glass if you really want to get into the nitty-gritty. These pennies might look like any other, but their value is anything but average. So, now you're probably checking your wallet and looking through your coin jar. Who wouldn't, right? If you've got one of these rare 1971 no mint mark pennies, you could be sitting on a literal gold mine. And if you don't have one, hey, at least now you know what to keep an eye out for next time you're rolling through change or hitting up that local coin shop. But before you head off to start searching for your future $1 million coin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you're going to want to stay tuned for more tips and strategies on spotting valuable coins that could be hiding in plain sight. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up so we know we're on the right track. Today, I've got a coin that might just make you do a double take. Let me introduce you to the 1970 D. Abraham Lincoln penny. And no, it's not just some ordinary penny you'll find in your pocket after grabbing a snack from the vending machine. Oh no, this penny could be worth a cool $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A penny worth $1 million. And it's not some mythical unicorn of coins. It's real, and it might be sitting in your collection or even under your couch cushions. But what makes this penny so special? Stick around because we're diving into everything you need to know about this treasure. All right, let's break it down. The 1970 D penny isn't like other coins from that year. Typically, pennies are minted in the billions, so most of them are, well, pretty common. But this 1970 D penny, isn't just your average coin. Here's where the magic happens. In 1970, the US Mint accidentally produced some pennies with a no mint mark. Usually, the mint mark, the D or S, is stamped on a penny to tell you where it was made. But the 1970 D penny, as rare as it is, had no mint mark at all. And while most of these went unnoticed for years, a few savvy collectors started to realize that this was one heck of a mistake. Now, for some perspective, let me tell you a quick story. A while back, I was digging through a box of pennies I had left over from my childhood. I found a 1970 D penny and thought, this could be worth a couple bucks. Fast forward a few weeks, and I'm watching a coin auction where that exact coin sold for a jaw-dropping amount. I nearly fell off my chair. Suddenly, my penny had the potential to buy me a yacht. Okay, maybe not a yacht, but definitely a really nice dinner. So, yeah, I'm always double-checking my change now. Now, let's talk value. In general, a regular 1970 D penny isn't worth much, probably around a couple of cents. But here's the kicker. If you happen to come across that 1970 penny with no mint mark, you're looking at some serious cash. And I'm talking up to $1 million in today's market, assuming it's in pristine condition. That's not just, oh, it's worth more than face value. We're talking big bucks, my friend. But the reality is, finding one of these is like hunting for a needle in a haystack. There are a lot of misidentifications out there. If your 1970 penny has a mint mark that looks like it was slightly rubbed off, or you think you have a special one based on your great-grandma's old dusty coin jar, it's probably not going to hit the $1 million mark. But hey, that doesn't mean it's not worth something. So, before you go putting it on eBay for an insane price, make sure to get it properly evaluated by a professional coin dealer. Okay, let's wrap it up. The 1970 penny with no mint mark is a serious collector's gem. But, like any great treasure hunt, it takes patience and a keen eye. You might just be sitting on something huge without even realizing it. So, before you go spending your change on that next cup of coffee, take a second to look through your pennies. You never know. You might have the next big coin worth $1 million right in your pocket. And hey, if you find one, don't forget to invite me over to celebrate, all right? I'll bring the pizza. Before you head off to search your piggy bank, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more coin tips, valuable finds, and strategies for building that dream collection. If you're into coins that could actually make you rich, or at least give you bragging rights, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss a tip. Remember, folks, coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a treasure hunt. Keep looking, keep learning, and who knows? Maybe the next jackpot is just a coin flip away. You find a 1966 Abraham Lincoln penny. You're thinking, hey, it's just a penny, no big deal. But hold on a second, because that little copper coin might just be worth more than your entire coffee addiction combined. I'm talking $6 million. Yes, you heard that right. $6 million. So, grab that jar and let's dive into the crazy world of the 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny, where you might just have found a hidden treasure. All right, let's break this down. First off, the 1966 no mint mark penny is one of those rare coins that collectors lose their minds over. But here's the twist. It's not just any old penny from the 1960s. You see, in 1965 and 1966, the US Mint made a big ol' mistake. They forgot to stamp some of their pennies with a mint mark. And just like that, some pennies got out there in circulation with no mint mark at all, making them extra special. But why does this matter, right? Well, mint marks usually tell you where the coin was made, like D for Denver, S for San Francisco, or no mint mark for Philadelphia. In 1966, they had a major mix-up, and some of those little pennies slid out the door without that mint mark. Turns out, this small error created a big problem for collectors because only a tiny fraction of these coins were minted this way. Now, for most pennies, you might get a buck or two if they're in perfect condition. But the 1966 no mint mark penny? That's where the magic happens. A few of these bad boys have been known to sell for millions. Yes, millions. In fact, the last time one of these pennies was auctioned, it went for a whopping $6 million. So, imagine your lucky penny might actually be a gold mine without the gold. But let's get real here for a second. Not every 1966 penny is worth $6 million. The coin has to be in pristine, almost perfect condition, which is pretty rare. We're talking mint state, like it's barely been touched by human hands, probably looks like it just rolled out of the mint. If you've got one of these in good shape, it could be your ticket to coin collector fame and fortune. So, how do you know if you've found one of these rare gems? Well, it's all about inspecting your penny. Check the edge for any wear or scratches, and look closely at Abe's face. Does it still have sharp details? Or does it look like it's been through a laundry machine? The more detailed and sharp the image, the higher its value. Here's a personal story. Back when I started getting into coin collecting, I found a penny in my change jar from the late 60s, and I thought I hit the jackpot. It was 1968, and I was like, this has to be worth something, right? I spent hours Googling it, looking for signs of rarity. Turns out it was just your regular old penny worth, well, a penny. Sigh. But hey, lesson learned. Don't go around thinking every old penny is a secret $1 million find. The 1966 no mint mark? Now that's the real deal. Alright, so now that you're all hyped about the 1966 no mint mark penny, here's the big question. Do you have one of these in your collection? Go check your pennies, because you might just have one of the rarest and most valuable coins in your pocket. If you find one, make sure you get it appraised by a professional. No, seriously. These things could be worth millions. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins and the secret treasures hiding in your pockets, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You're not going to want to miss all the tips, tricks, and strategies I'll be sharing to help you find more coins worth big bucks. Trust me, this is just the beginning of our coin hunting adventures, so go ahead, hit subscribe, and let's keep the hunt going. Who knows, you could be the next lucky coin collector to strike it rich. Today, we're talking about a 2017 D. Abraham Lincoln penny that's not worth 1 cent or $1 or even $1,000. Nope, try $7 million. Yes, you heard that right. $7 million. You could literally buy a mansion, a yacht, and still have enough left over for a lifetime supply of snacks. But how does a humble penny become worth more than a private jet? Let's dive into the details, because trust me, you'll never look at loose change the same way again. So, the 2017 D. Lincoln penny. First, let's talk about the D mint mark. That D tells us this coin was minted in Denver, Colorado. Nothing unusual there, right? But what makes this penny so special isn't just where it was made. It's all about a rare error during the minting process. See, when coins are minted, there's a lot of precision involved. But every now and then, something goes wrong, and an error coin is born. And coin collectors? They love these quirky, one-of-a-kind coins. Now, here's where it gets wild. The $7 million 2017 D penny is rumored to have a misalignment error and a double die obverse. Basically, Lincoln's face looks like he's staring in a funhouse mirror. Some folks even say there are subtle cracks on the coin's surface, like Mother Nature herself decided to give it a little extra character. But why would someone pay $7 million for this penny? Well, it's simple: rarity. Coins like this are the unicorns of the coin world. You're more likely to find your phone charger on the first try than stumble across one of these pennies. But hey, anything's possible. Speaking of rare finds, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I found a weird penny in my car's cup holder. It was grimy, had seen better days, but something about it looked off. Turns out it was just a regular penny someone chewed on. Thanks, whoever did that. But it taught me a valuable lesson. Always check your change. Because you never know when you'll strike gold, or in this case, copper-coated zinc. So, what can you do to find a rare penny like this? First, start by checking any 2017 pennies in your collection or spare change. Look closely. Use a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera to spot errors. And don't just stop at the 2017 D. There are plenty of other pennies with errors that could still fetch a pretty penny. See what I did there? Alright, friends, here's the takeaway. That pile of change sitting in your junk drawer or under your couch cushions could be hiding a life-changing coin. The 2017 D. Lincoln penny might be the jackpot, but there are plenty of valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. If you're into making money while literally hunting for money, be sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell. I've got tons of tips, stories, and insider strategies to help you uncover hidden treasures in your pocket change. And who knows, you might just be the next lucky collector to turn a penny into a $7 million payday. Today, we're diving into a coin you wouldn't want to spend at the vending machine, the 1971 D. Washington quarter. And guess what? Could be worth up to a cool $1 million right now. Yep, you heard that right. $1 million. So, how did this seemingly regular coin turn into such a big deal? Stick around, and I'll break it all down in this video. Alright, let's get into it. The 1971 D. Washington quarter might sound like one of those coins you throw in a jar with all the other meh change. But here's where things get interesting. What makes this particular coin so valuable, you ask? It's the mysterious and rare error that made it stand out from the rest. Now, let me take you back a bit. The 1971 Washington quarter was minted with a standard design featuring George Washington. But here's the twist. A handful of these quarters were accidentally struck with an overminting error, creating a really distinctive, extra shiny, or sometimes even off-center coin. And, of course, the ones that survived this error are extremely rare. This error wasn't caught right away, but coin collectors, being the eagle-eyed treasure hunters they are, noticed the discrepancy. Word got out, and before long, this little quarter was the talk of the numismatic world. In fact, the current market value of the 1971 D quarter has skyrocketed to a jaw-dropping $1 million. That's not just pocket change. That's enough to buy a pretty nice car, a house in some parts of the country, or even a trip to a coin convention, where you could show off your own $1 million coin. Now, here's the kicker. I've been collecting coins for years, and let me tell you, it's not always easy to spot something this valuable. A while back, I was going through some old change, just like I do on a lazy Sunday afternoon. I stumbled upon a 1971 D quarter, and I thought, just another quarter. If only I'd known what I was holding. Honestly, I probably spent it on a candy bar or something. Ugh, regrets. But hey, that's how it goes in the coin world, right? You can't always hit the jackpot. But you can learn to spot these treasures with the right knowledge and a little bit of luck. And that's where I come in, folks. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what to look for to find a 1971 D Washington quarter that could make you a millionaire. First off, check the mint mark. It's going to be on the reverse side of the coin right under Washington's ponytail. That's where you'll see a D for Denver. It might look normal at first glance, but take a closer look at the details. Now, errors on these coins aren't always obvious unless you know exactly what you're looking for. Some might be slight and hard to spot, but here's the trick. The coin needs to show signs of the overminting error or have distinct flaws like double strikes or wrong positioning. If your 1971 D looks a little off-center or has that extra shiny look, you could be holding a hidden gem. I mean, can you imagine finding one of these? I'd faint. And don't forget, condition matters too. A mint condition 1971 D could fetch an insane price. The better the shape, the higher the value. Think of it like a fine wine aged well, and you'll be sitting pretty so. There you have it, the 1971 D Washington quarter, a true treasure in disguise. If you're lucky enough to find one of these with a rare error, you could be looking at serious cash. And the best part is, you probably have one of these coins lying around somewhere. So keep those eyes peeled. I hope this video helped you spot a potential millionaire maker in your change jar. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss my future videos, where I'll keep sharing tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth way more than you think. Trust me, your pocket change could be holding some serious value. So go ahead. Give that subscribe button a tap, and let's make you a coin expert together. Until next time, keep hunting those treasures. And remember, you never know when the next $1 million coin might be right under your nose. Today, we're diving into a rare gem that could just be worth a small fortune. The 1981 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. Spoiler alert. This thing could be worth a cool $1 million. That's right, $1 million. Now, before you run off and check all the change in your pocket, let's talk about why this coin is so valuable and how you can tell if you've got one on your hands. Stay tuned because by the end of this video, you'll be ready to spot a treasure in your own collection. Alright, let's break it down. First off, the 1981 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar isn't your average coin. In fact, it's one of those special coins that collectors go wild for, and the reason behind it might surprise you. So, what makes this quarter worth a jaw-dropping $1 million? Well, it all comes down to the rarity. Back in 1981, the U.S. Mint released a series of Washington quarters to commemorate Ellis Island. Now, in theory, these quarters should be pretty easy to find. They were minted in large numbers. But here's the catch. Due to a little mix-up at the mint, the 1981 P. Ellis Island quarters were only produced in a very limited quantity. While the regular 1981 P quarters are floating around everywhere, the Ellis Island variety is super rare. Some estimates say only a handful of them were actually made. Can you imagine finding one of these in your spare change? It's like finding a golden ticket in your chocolate bar, except instead of chocolate, you're sitting on a small fortune. But wait, before you get too excited, there's more. Not all 1981 P quarters are worth $1 million. Oh no, the magic happens when you have a mint condition coin. That means no scratches, no wear, no tarnishing. It's gotta look brand new. Think of it like this, you wouldn't sell a beat-up old car for the same price as a shiny new sports car, right? Same deal with these coins. Let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was sorting through my spare change. You know, that jar of pennies and nickels you never bother to count. I found a coin that looked a little different from the others. At first glance, I thought it was just a regular quarter, but I decided to look it up anyway. Turns out, I had stumbled across a rare 1950s Washington quarter that was worth way more than I ever expected. Now, I'm not saying it was worth $1 million, but it was definitely a nice little surprise. Moral of the story? Always check your change. You never know what you might find. Now, how can you tell if you've got an Ellis Island Washington quarter? Great question. Look for these key details. It's right there under George Washington's neck on the front of the coin. The P stands for Philadelphia, where this quarter was minted. If you find one of these with the P mint mark, you're halfway there. This coin features the iconic Washington quarter design on the front and the image of Ellis Island on the back. The design is relatively simple, but the rarity is in the minting. So if the coin has that distinctive Ellis Island feature, you're getting close. As mentioned earlier, the condition of the coin is everything. If it's in pristine condition, then you're sitting pretty. Coins that are in mint state MS65 or higher are the ones that fetch top dollar. So, to wrap things up, yes, the 1981 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar could potentially be worth $1 million if it's in mint condition. And trust me, if you find one, you'll want to hold on to it like it's the holy grail of quarters. Keep an eye on your pocket change. Folks, you never know when that elusive treasure will pop up. Before I go, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more coin tips, tricks, and the occasional treasure hunt story. I'll be back with more valuable coin tips. You won't want to miss what's coming next. And hey, if you find any rare coins, drop a comment and let me know. We're all in this coin collecting adventure together. What if I told you that the coin you might have buried in your pocket could be worth a whopping $3 million? No, this isn't a scam, and yes, I'm talking about the 1983 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. Stick with me, because you'll want to hear the story of this coin, and how it went from being just another quarter to a rare treasure worth millions. Okay, let's break it down. First off, you're probably thinking, isn't that just another regular quarter? And honestly, that's what a lot of people thought back in 1983. But here's the twist. There's something very special about this one. It was meant to be part of a special series commemorating Ellis Island, which is a huge piece of American history. The coin was supposed to feature a beautifully detailed depiction of the island. But there was a little oopsie in the minting process. Instead of having the beautiful image of Ellis Island on the reverse side, some of the 1983 P quarters came out with an error. A lot of the coins were printed without the proper engraving. That mistake turned out to be the big break for this coin, turning it into a sought-after rarity. And let me tell you, when I was younger, I didn't have the best luck with coins. One time, I found a quarter in the vending machine and thought it was my ticket to some sweet snacks. I didn't know then that it was my ticket to a coin-collecting hobby, let alone something like the 1983 P. Ellis Island quarter that could be worth millions today. So how did this particular quarter go from pocket change to a jaw-dropping $3 million? Simple. Only a handful of these rare error coins ever made it into circulation, and the ones that survived, well, they've turned into a collector's dream. These quarters are as rare as finding a winning lottery ticket under your couch cushions. A 1983 P. Ellis Island quarter recently sold for $3 million. No joke. For one quarter. Now, I know you're probably checking your coin jar to see if you're holding the next big payday. But remember, these things are rare. Really rare. So don't get too excited just yet. But it's always worth checking. Alright, let's wrap this up. If you happen to have a 1983 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter, congratulations. You've got yourself a gold mine or, well, a silver one. But even if you don't, keep your eyes peeled. You never know when the next big find will be right under your nose. Maybe you'll find it in your couch cushions, where all the lost treasure seems to hide. And hey, remember, coin collecting isn't just about the big scores. It's about enjoying the hunt and learning along the way. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips on rare coins, collecting strategies, and how you can make a fortune just by looking at your change. Trust me, your pockets may be a lot more valuable than you think. Today we're talking about one special quarter that's making collectors go wild, the 1995 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter. And trust me, it's not just a pretty design, it's got a value of, get this, $5 million. Yes, you heard me right, 5 million. Stick around because I'm going to break down why this little coin is worth a fortune and how you might have one sitting in your change jar right now without even knowing it. Alright, first things first, what makes this coin so special? The 1995 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter was part of the U.S. Mint's 50-state quarters program, which, by the way, is like the coolest thing to ever happen to coin collecting, right? Every year, the Mint released a new quarter for each state, and in 1995, we got the quarter for New Jersey, featuring the famous Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty. Very patriotic. But here's the thing, the 1995 D. Ellis Island quarter, in particular, has a bit of an oopsie going on that makes it so valuable. You see, the coin was supposed to have the D mint mark from the Denver Mint, but some coins got out without it. That's right. There's a rare variety of this coin where the D mint mark is missing. Now, for those of you who might be saying, so what? It's just a missing letter. Well, let me tell you, this little detail makes it super rare. And because it's so rare, collectors are willing to pay a ridiculous amount of money for it. $5 million to be exact. That's a lot of pocket change. Now, you're probably wondering, how do I know if I've got one of these missing mint mark quarters in my collection? Great question. First off, if you've got a 1995 D quarter, look carefully at the mint mark, the D, on the back of the coin, near the bottom. If it's gone, poof, then congratulations, my friend, you've just found a golden ticket to the world of rare coins. But, and here's the tricky part, this is one of those needle in a haystack situations. They're incredibly rare, so chances are you don't have one, but you never know. Let me tell you a little story. A few years back, I was at a garage sale, as one does, right? And found a jar of coins for just a couple bucks. I thought, hey, I'll sift through this for fun and see if I can find anything cool. Lo and behold, I found a coin that looked like a regular OL quarter. But then, I double-checked, and it was a rare variety. A 1982 no mint mark Washington quarter worth over $1,000. I couldn't believe it. I had to take a moment to process what just happened. Moral of the story, you never know when a quarter might make your day. So, is there a 1995 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter worth $5 million just hanging out in your collection? Probably not. But now that you know what to look for, it's time to get hunting. Keep checking those change jars, scouring the coin rolls, and hey, if you find one, don't forget to send me a thank you card. I'm just kidding? Or am I? But seriously, whether you've got a coin worth millions or just a handful of pocket change, the fun is in the hunt and the excitement of discovering something rare. Make sure to keep your eyes peeled, and who knows, you might just strike gold or silver or copper, but mostly gold. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more tips, tricks, and coin secrets that could make you rich. Who knows, your next find could be worth more than you ever imagined. Catch you in the next video, and happy hunting. And hey, if you found this video helpful or fun, or just liked hearing me talk about $5 million coins, make sure to hit that like button. It helps more than you know. Today, I'm about to share a secret with you that will make you take a second look at your change. And trust me, you'll be glad you did. Did you know that one particular quarter, yes, that quarter, the 1998 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar, is worth a staggering $8 million. Yes, you heard that right, $8 million. I'm not kidding. But don't worry, I'm not here to make you panic or go digging through your couch cushions. Stick with me and I'll show you why this coin is so valuable, how to spot it, and maybe, just maybe, turn that jar of change into a small fortune. Let's dive in. Alright, so let's break it down. The 1998 P. Ellis Island quarter isn't just any ordinary coin. It's part of the 50-state quarters series, which, by the way, was one of the most successful coin programs ever. The U.S. Mint released a different quarter for each state, and the Ellis Island design was chosen for New Jersey. It's got this beautiful image of the iconic Ellis Island immigrant station, where millions of immigrants passed through as they arrived in America. Pretty cool, right? But here's the thing, this coin was minted in Philadelphia in 1998. Most of the time, you'll find these bad boys in your pocket worth the standard quarter price. But If you're lucky enough to have a P mint mark like the one on this coin, and it's in perfect, pristine condition, we're talking big bucks. And when I say big bucks, I mean like $8 million big bucks. Now, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, that's crazy. Where can I find one of these? Am I walking around with a potential gold mine in my pocket right now? Well, let me tell you a little secret. Not all 1998 P. Ellis Island quarters are worth that much. It's the perfect condition ones that are the real treasure. We're talking about coins that look like they were just minted yesterday. Any signs of wear or scratches, forget about it. But if it's a flawless coin, oh boy, now you've got something special. I actually had a funny experience with a coin like this once. A couple of years ago, I found a 1998 P. Ellis Island quarter in a box of random coins. My first thought was, hey, this could be worth something. But after closer inspection, I realized it was a little too worn out to make a fortune. It was a bit like when you think you've found a rare Pokemon, but it turns out to be a common one. Total letdown. But here's the kicker, if you do happen to find one of these coins in mint condition, there's a chance you could sell it for millions. I'm talking about auction houses, rare coin dealers, maybe even the Smithsonian. You just gotta be on the lookout. And that's why I'm here to tell you. Take a second to look at your spare change. Look at it like it's a treasure hunt. You never know what you've got until you do a little digging. So let's wrap this up. The 1998 P. Ellis Island Washington $quarter coin is an absolute gem. Literally. While most of the quarters you find are probably worth just a quarter, a perfectly preserved one of these could be worth millions. So, if you've got a jar of loose change, don't just toss it in the laundry. Give it a closer look. You might be holding on to more than you think. Remember, it's not just about finding rare coins. It's about knowing which ones are worth a second look. And that's where I come in. I'm here to guide you through this coin world, one treasure at a time. If you want more tips, strategies, and insider info on coins that could change your financial future, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and good luck hunting for that next big find. Who knows, maybe next time you'll be showing off a quarter worth $8 million. Or maybe just a shiny new coin for your collection. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story and current market value of the 1999 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you might just find yourself raiding your couch cushions like a pirate searching for buried treasure. First off, let's talk about the coin itself. The 1999 P. Ellis Island quarter was part of the State Quarter Series, one of the most successful coin programs in U.S. history. These quarters were meant to celebrate each state's unique history and culture, and New Jersey hit us with the iconic image of Ellis Island, the gateway for millions of immigrants who came to America seeking a better life. Fittingly, this quarter is all about opportunity. Literally. So why is this quarter worth $9 million? Well, it's not just any 1999 P. Ellis Island quarter we're talking about. It's a rare variety with a very specific mint error. Now, for those of you who are new to the coin world, a mint error is basically when the coin-making process goes a little sideways. In this case, the quarter was struck on the wrong type of metal planchet. Think of it as a 1 in a billion factory mistake that turned this quarter into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece. And get this, it's not just the rarity that gives it its insane value. Coin collectors love a good story, and this one's got drama, history, and a little sprinkle of good old-fashioned luck. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, I was visiting my grandma's house. The kind of house where every surface has a doily, and there's a candy jar that always has those mystery strawberry candies. Anyway, she hands me this dusty jar of coins and says, "Can you do something with this?" I'm like, "Sure, Grandma. I'll see if you've got any hidden treasure." So, I'm sitting there, sifting through nickels, dimes, and quarters, when I spot a 1999 P. Ellis Island quarter. My heart stopped for a second. Could this be the one? Could I finally quit my job and retire early? All thanks to a dusty coin jar? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But hey, it gave me a solid 10 minutes of daydreaming about buying an island somewhere. And who knows? Maybe you will have better luck. So what's the takeaway here? If you've got a 1999 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter, grab a magnifying glass, inspect it carefully, and maybe even get it appraised by an expert. Who knows? You could be holding on to a $9 million jackpot without even realizing it. And here's the deal, coins like this are a reminder that sometimes the smallest things can have the biggest value. Your pocket change isn't just pocket change. It could be a lottery ticket in disguise. Before you rush off to raid your coin jar, though, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Why? Because I've got plenty more coin tips, tricks, and stories that could help you uncover hidden treasures. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Alright, now go check your change. Who knows, your next big payday might be hiding right under your nose or in your grandma's candy jar. Happy hunting! Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so special, how you can spot one, and why you might want to raid your old piggy bank right now. Oh, and stick around because I've got a funny little story about how I almost threw a valuable coin into a vending machine once. Spoiler alert, I'm still kicking myself for it. First, let's talk about the basics. The 2004 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter was part of the state quarters program, which made coin collecting way cooler in the early 2000s. Kids and adults alike were hoarding these quarters, dreaming of completing the full set. But here's the kicker. Most of them were worth, well, 25 cents, except for a very rare few. What makes this quarter worth millions? Drumroll, please, is an error coin. Specifically, it has a unique minting error that makes it one of a kind. We're talking about double dies, mint marks that look a little off, or even a misaligned strike. These tiny mistakes turn a regular coin into something collectors are willing to pay big bucks for. Now, here's where it gets crazy. Most people wouldn't even notice this error. It's subtle. You'd probably flip through your quarters, see George Washington's face, and move on. But with this specific quarter, the details are everything. The error on the 2004 P. Ellis Island quarter gives it an extraordinary value, and when collectors fight over something this rare, that's when the price shoots up to the millions. Quick side note, this reminds me of a time I was at the laundromat and I was short on quarters. I reached into my jacket pocket, found one that looked different, and almost fed it into the machine. Something stopped me. Probably the voice in my head that said, "Hey, maybe don't waste a potentially valuable coin on laundry." Later, I checked it out, and it was only worth a couple bucks. But still, lesson learned, always check your change before you spend it. Alright, back to the good stuff. If you're wondering how to find one of these gems, here's the deal. You can't exactly go to your local bank and ask for a stack of rare quarters, but you can keep an eye on your pocket change. Pay attention to any 2004 quarters, and look closely at the mint mark. The P stands for Philadelphia, and that's the mint where this particular error happened. If you find one, compare it to photos online of known error coins. And hey, even if you don't find the $4 million quarter, don't be discouraged. Tons of coins with minor errors can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. That's not a bad trade for something you find in your couch cushions, right? So, what's the takeaway here? Coins are more than just pocket change. They're little pieces of history that could change your financial future if you're lucky enough to find the right one. The 2004 P. Ellis Island, Washington quarter is proof that treasure is still out there. And you don't need a pirate map to find it. Just a sharp eye, a little patience, and maybe some good timing. Now, before you start checking every coin in your house, here's my final ask. Hit that subscribe button. If you love learning about coins worth big money, want tips on coin collecting, or just enjoy geeking out over hidden treasures, you're in the right place. Give this video a like, share it with your friends who need a new hobby, and let's keep the treasure hunt going together. Who knows? Your next quarter could be worth millions. I'm about to spill the tea on what makes this coin so valuable, how you might stumble across one, and what you should do if you're lucky enough to find it. Spoiler alert, it doesn't involve accidentally spending it at the laundromat. Let's kick things off with the basics. The 2015 P. Ellis Island quarter was part of the America the Beautiful series, showcasing national parks and historic landmarks. Ellis Island, as you know, is a symbol of hope and new beginnings, a gateway to the American dream. Well, finding this quarter could be your gateway to a financial dream come true. So, what makes it worth more than my car and your student loans combined? It's all about errors and rarity, folks. In the world of coin collecting, mistakes are pure gold, or in this case, silver. Some 2015 Ellis Island quarters have misprints, double dies, or other fascinating minting errors that make them incredibly unique. And we all know collectors love unique things, just like how Aunt Martha collects garden gnomes no one asked for. Now, here's a story for you. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my car. You know, that epic quest for lost treasures beneath the seats. I found stale French fries, a mystery receipt from 2017, and lo and behold, a shiny 2015 Ellis Island quarter. I thought, cool, gas money, and tossed it into my coin jar. Little did I know, that could have been the jackpot. Fast forward to today, I learned about this $5 million treasure, and I've been side-eyeing every quarter I see. No luck yet, but hey, the hunt continues. Moral of the story? Always check your spare change before dumping it in a vending machine. So, what's the deal with this $5 million valuation? Turns out, it's a combination of a rare minting error and pristine condition. If your Ellis Island quarter has something unusual, like a doubled image or a strange mark, it could be the one. But here's the kicker: condition is everything. Collectors love coins that look like they just rolled off the minting press, not ones that have been through the spin cycle in your jeans. If you've got one of these in mint or near mint condition, it's time to do a happy dance. Alright, so you've got a quarter that looks promising. What's next? First, don't clean it. I repeat, do not clean the coin. Scrubbing it might turn your $5 million dream into a 25-cent tragedy. Take it to a professional grader who can evaluate its condition and authenticity. And if it turns out to be the real deal, well, let's just say your wallet is about to feel very heavy, so there you have it. Friends, the story of how a humble 2015 Ellis Island quarter can turn into a life-changing fortune. If you're like me, you're probably eyeing your couch cushions and every coin jar in your house right now. Who knows? Maybe you're sitting on a gold mine without even realizing it. Before you go, let me leave you with this. There are so many hidden treasures out there waiting to be found. Coins, stamps, antiques, heck, even Beanie Babies have made people rich. So if you love the thrill of the hunt and the joy of discovery, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and join me on this crazy journey of finding value in the things we usually overlook. Give this video a like, share it with a fellow treasure hunter, and drop a comment below if you've ever found something valuable in the most unexpected place. Let's hear your stories. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about this coin, what makes it so valuable, and how you could strike gold, or should I say silver. So, let's break this down. The 2017 Ellis Island quarter was minted as part of the America the Beautiful series, showcasing the rich history of the United States. This particular design features an immigrant family arriving at Ellis Island. Talk about a story etched in metal. But here's the kicker. Not all of these coins are created equal. There's a special, rare version of this quarter that collectors are going absolutely bonkers over. Why? It's all about the condition and the errors. Some of these coins were struck with slight misalignments or doubling in the design. These minting mistakes make them incredibly valuable to collectors. It's like finding a misprinted book or a limited edition sneaker, except way more profitable. Now, you might be thinking, $7 million for a quarter? Come on. But it's true. In pristine condition, known as MS-70, that's coin nerd talk for flawless. This coin has fetched insane amounts at auctions. And here's where it gets wild. A 2017 Ellis Island quarter recently made headlines for being valued at $7 million. That's enough to buy a mansion, a sports car, and probably still have enough left over for a lifetime supply of snacks. Here's a funny story. A while back, I found a 2017 quarter in my couch cushions and got so excited. I grabbed my magnifying glass, squinted at it like Sherlock Holmes, and thought, this is it. I'm retiring early. Spoiler alert. It wasn't the $7 million coin. It wasn't even worth more than 25 cents. But hey, it gave me a solid 5 minutes of imagining my life as a coin millionaire. So, how do you know if your 2017 Ellis Island quarter is the real deal? First, check for the D mint mark under the date. It stands for the Denver Mint. Next, examine the coin closely. Look for any errors, doubling, or other unique features. If it looks perfect, don't just toss it in your piggy bank. Get it graded by a professional service, like PCGS or NGC. And if you're thinking, where on earth do I even find a 2017 D Ellis Island quarter? Don't worry. Start by checking your spare change. You'd be surprised what's hiding in your pocket. Or visit a local coin shop or online marketplaces like eBay. But be careful. There are a lot of fakes out there. So do your homework, so there you have it. The incredible story of the 2017 D Ellis Island Washington quarter that could turn your pocket change into a fortune. Imagine flipping through your coins and stumbling upon $7 million. It's like winning the lottery, but with way better odds. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'm constantly sharing tips on coins worth money, how to spot rare finds, and strategies to build your collection without breaking the bank. Who knows? The next video might just help you uncover a hidden treasure in your own wallet. Today we're diving into a coin that's probably not just lying around, but if it is, you might just want to pick it up. Yes, we're talking about the 2015 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, worth around $5 million. Sounds like one of those crazy find a coin, get rich stories, right? But trust me, this one is as real as that penny you just picked up out of your couch cushions, so grab a snack, sit back, and let's take a deep dive into this penny that could seriously make you a millionaire. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's talk about this 2015 no-mint mark penny. You're probably sitting there thinking, a penny? Worth $5 million? Nah, that sounds like clickbait. But here's the deal. This coin is not your average copper-clad piece of change. In fact, it's not like most pennies you've ever seen. First things first, a no-mint mark penny means it doesn't have the tiny letter indicating where it was made. So, no D for Denver or S for San Francisco. Normally, pennies come from one of these two places, but not this one. This bad boy came straight from the US Mint in Philadelphia, and that makes it super rare. Why? Well, the Mint mistakenly produced these 2015 pennies without the Mint mark, and that's what's driving the price through the roof. Now, let's talk rarity for a second. Most of us have come across a penny or two in our time, but it's not every day you come across one that's actually worth something more than the 1 cent it was originally minted for. This coin is one of the few out there, and it's something that collectors have been hunting down like a hidden treasure. A penny worth $5 million? Yeah, that's no joke. The coin's market value comes from its rarity. There are only a handful of these coins, and their condition plays a huge part in how much they go for. If you're lucky enough to find one in mint condition, well, it could be your ticket to early retirement. Speaking of finding rare coins, I've had my fair share of searching through my pocket change. A few months ago, I found what I thought was a rare coin, a 1980 penny. I got so excited, did some research, and, well, turns out it was just an old penny. Definitely not worth $1 million, more like 1 cent, go figure. So, when I heard about the 2015 no-mint mark penny, I thought, okay, this is the jackpot I've been waiting for. Now, here's the thing. Finding a 2015 no-mint mark penny is no easy feat, but that's the beauty of it. If you do find one, you're holding a little piece of coin history. While it's unlikely you're going to stumble upon one while doing your grocery shopping, you can keep your eyes peeled when going through rolls of pennies or checking out estate sales, garage sales, or even thrift shops. So to wrap it up, if you're serious about collecting coins, this is the kind of stuff that gets me excited and might just get you hooked too. And hey, if you're looking for tips on which coins to look out for, or you want more crazy stories about rare coins, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future episodes where we'll dive into other coins that could be hiding in your pocket, worth a whole lot more than you thought. Today, I'm breaking down the fascinating story of this seemingly ordinary penny and how it became worth more than most houses. Plus, stick around because I'll share how I once nearly threw away a potentially valuable coin. True story. Alright, let's dive in. So, what's the deal with this 2013 penny? First, let me clarify. The no-mint mark simply means the coin was minted in Philadelphia, which typically doesn't add a mint mark. So, if yours has no little letter under the date, don't panic. It's not a fake. What makes this particular penny worth $3 million is that it's believed to be a rare error coin. Somewhere along the production line, something went haywire, and the result was a unique coin unlike any other. It's like finding a unicorn in your pocket. Here's where it gets wild. Rumor has it that one lucky coin collector stumbled across one of these pennies in circulation. Imagine this. They're at a gas station, get 97 cents back in change, and bam, that's their golden ticket. Next thing you know, that penny hits an auction and sells for $3 million. If that doesn't make you want to raid your couch cushions right now, I don't know what will. Now, let me tell you a personal story. A few years back, I had a random penny in my wallet. Super shiny, no mint mark, and I thought, this might be worth something. But guess what I did? I used it to pay for a vending machine snack. Yep, I traded a potential fortune for a bag of chips. Fast forward to today, and every time I see a penny, I inspect it like it's the Da Vinci Code. The truth is, most of us don't even look at our change. But if you're lucky enough to have one of these 2013 no mint mark pennies, you're sitting on what could be a treasure. The coin's condition, of course, matters too. If it's been through the ringer and looks like it survived a garbage disposal, it's probably not fetching $3 million. But if it's in pristine condition, like it just rolled off the mint, then you've got a contender. Alright, so here's the bottom line. That little copper coin in your pocket could change your life. Next time you're about to toss a penny into a fountain, wishing for $1 million, maybe check if you're holding $3 million first. And if you love finding hidden treasures and learning about coins that are worth real money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons of tips, stories, and strategies to help you become a savvy coin collector, or at least avoid accidentally spending a fortune at a vending machine like I did. Thanks for watching, and remember, friends, every penny counts, but some pennies count a whole lot more. Today, we're diving into why this little coin is causing a big stir in the coin world. Stick around, because not only will I explain why this penny is worth more than a Lamborghini, but I'll also share a hilarious story about the time I almost threw away what could have been a rare coin myself. Spoiler: my heart still hasn't fully recovered. Alright, let's talk about what makes this penny so special. First things first, what's the deal with this 1994 penny? At first glance, it looks like your average, run-of-the-mill Lincoln cent. You know, the kind you probably have jingling around in your pocket right now. But here's the twist. It's missing a mint mark. For those of you who don't know, the mint mark tells us which U.S. mint facility produced the coin: Denver, Philadelphia, or San Francisco. If it's missing, it means something unusual happened during production, and that's where the value comes in. Now, here's the kicker. This penny is considered a holy grail coin by collectors. Why? Because it's crazy rare. Out of billions of coins produced, only a handful of these 1994 no mint mark pennies have been verified as authentic. We're talking unicorn-level rarity here. And when something is rare and collectors go bananas for it, the price skyrockets. Enter $4 million. Let me give you a quick reality check. You're not going to find one of these just lying around? Or could you? Cue suspenseful music. Speaking of finding valuable coins, let me tell you my own little story. So, a while back, I was cleaning out my car, finally tackling that bottomless pit of receipts, gum wrappers, and rogue French fries. I came across a penny that looked a little off. I couldn't figure out what it was, so naturally, I tossed it into the meh pile. Later, I got curious and Googled it. Turns out, it wasn't rare, but it taught me a valuable lesson. Never underestimate a coin, especially one that looks unusual. That could have been my ticket to early retirement. Now I check every penny I find like I'm panning for gold. So, how can you tell if your penny is worth millions? Start with these tips. Make sure it's 1994. No exceptions here. A no mint mark penny is key. Coins in pristine condition, we're talking almost untouched, are worth the most. If your penny looks like it's been chewed on by a raccoon, it's probably not going to fetch you millions. Don't run off to your nearest pawn shop with a shoebox of pennies just yet. Get your rare finds authenticated by a trusted expert. This is important because there are a lot of fakes floating around out there. Remember, if it sounds too good to be true, sometimes it is. Now, you're probably wondering, who's actually paying $4 million for a penny? Great question. Wealthy collectors, museums, and sometimes even auction houses are willing to shell out big bucks for coins like these. To them, it's not just a coin. It's a piece of history. So what's the takeaway here? That old saying, find a penny, pick it up, and all day long you'll have good luck. might actually be onto something. Except, in this case, it's not just good luck. It's potentially life-changing money. Imagine what you could do with $4 million. Pay off your mortgage, travel the world, buy a yacht and name it Pennywise? Bad joke, I know. Here's the deal, valuable coins like the 1994 no-mint mark penny are out there, and you might just get lucky. But even if you don't stumble upon a jackpot coin, learning about these treasures is fascinating, right? If you loved this video and want more tips on coins worth money, hidden treasures, and strategies for growing your collection, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we've got coming up. Now go check your junk drawers, piggy banks, and couch cushions. Who knows, you might just be sitting on a fortune. Today we're talking about the 1985 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that's stirring up waves in the collector world, with a jaw-dropping market value of $5 million. That's right, $5 million. For a penny. Now, before you start flipping over your couch cushions or raiding your piggy bank, let's dive into what makes this little guy worth more than a luxury car, a mansion, or my dream vacation to Hawaii. Spoiler alert, it's not just because it has Lincoln on it. Stick around, because I'll also share my own personal close call story about nearly losing a valuable coin, and you do not want to make the same mistake. Alright, let's get into the juicy details. First off, why is the 1985 D penny so special? Well, it all comes down to rarity, condition, and errors. These are the holy trinity of coin collecting. The 1985 D penny isn't just any old coin from Denver. It's one of those rare, perfect storm coins. Here's the deal. The $5 million version of this coin is in mint state 69, MS69. That means it's almost perfect. Like, barely touched by human hands perfect. The kind of perfect that's rarer than me actually sticking to my New Year's resolutions. And as if that wasn't enough, some of these pennies are rumored to have unique die errors, like doubled letters or funky strikes, which makes collectors go bananas. Now, let me put this in perspective. There were 5.2 billion 1985 D pennies minted. Billion with a B. But only a handful, literally just a handful, have survived in this pristine condition. It's like trying to find a needle in a haystack, except the needle is made of solid gold, and the haystack is your junk drawer. So, what makes this coin worth $5 million today? It's all about demand. High-end collectors with deep pockets are constantly on the hunt for the best of the best. And when one of these MS69 beauties shows up at an auction, the bidding wars get wilder than Black Friday at the mall. Now, here's a little story for you. A few years ago, I was going through an old jar of coins at my grandma's house. You know, the kind of jar that's been sitting on the kitchen counter since the 90s. I found this really shiny penny, and for a moment, I thought it might be worth something. But instead of checking it carefully, I tossed it back in the jar and forgot about it. Fast forward a few months, I learned about the 1985 D penny and started sweating bullets. Could that penny have been the one? Did I just casually throw away $5 million? To this day, I still wonder about it. Moral of the story: never, ever underestimate your spare change. Now, let's say you think you've got one of these rare pennies. What should you do? First, grab a magnifying glass and check for that D mint mark under the date. If it's there and the coin looks pristine, do not toss it back in the coin jar. Store it safely, maybe in a coin holder or protective case, and get it professionally graded. Seriously, spend the money on grading. It's like investing in a lottery ticket that might actually pay off. So, there you have it, folks, the incredible story of the 1985 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth $5 million. It's a reminder that treasure can be found in the most unexpected places, even at the bottom of your purse or in that random pile of coins on your desk. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about hidden gems in your pocket change, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. I've got tons of tips and stories about coins worth real money, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Who knows? Your next trip to the grocery store could be your ticket to a fortune. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1978 D Lincoln penny, why it's so special, and how it climbed its way to the top of the coin world. Spoiler alert: after watching this, you're definitely going to start checking your change. Now, grab your magnifying glasses and your coin jars, because we're about to uncover how a humble little copper coin turned into a millionaire maker. Let's get into it. Alright, so what's the deal with the 1978 D penny? First off, the D mint mark tells us it was minted in Denver. Millions of these pennies were made in 1978, so you're probably wondering, why on earth is this one worth $8 million? I mean, it's not like Abraham Lincoln suddenly started doing TikTok dances on the front of the coin. The key here is rarity. Most 1978 D pennies are pretty standard, made of copper-plated zinc, and worth, well, 1 cent. But there's a super rare error version of this coin, one with a minting mistake. These errors can happen when something goes wrong during production, like a double die, off-center strike, or even the wrong planchet. That's coin nerd talk for the metal blank the coin is struck on. For the $8 million 1978 D penny, it's rumored to have one of the rarest minting errors ever recorded, making it a literal jackpot for collectors. Now, let me tell you a quick story. A buddy of mine, let's call him Tim, was casually sorting through his old coins one day, just to kill time during a Netflix binge. He had this old jar that had been sitting on his dresser for years. He wasn't even a coin collector, but he figured, hey, why not? He flips one penny over, sees the D mint mark, and goes, huh, this looks weird. Turns out it wasn't the $8 million penny, but it was worth a cool $500 because it had a smaller error. Not bad for a penny, right? Moral of the story? Check your change. You never know what treasure could be hiding in plain sight. So, what's the current market value of this legendary coin? Yep, $8 million. That's the price someone was willing to pay at an auction to own this tiny piece of history. Just imagine walking into an auction house with a penny in your hand and walking out a multimillionaire. I mean, who needs a lottery ticket when you have spare change like this lying around? But before you go cashing in all your pennies, let me throw in a quick reality check. Not every old coin is worth a fortune. You've got to know what to look for: specific dates, mint marks, errors, and condition. Collectors go wild for these details, so if you find a coin that seems unusual, get it checked out by an expert. You could be sitting on a gold mine or, well, a copper mine. Alright friends, that's the story of the $8 million 1978 D penny. A little coin with a big price tag. Who knew something so small could be worth more than a mansion? Now, here's my challenge to you. Go grab that jar of loose change, check your pockets, raid your couch cushions, and start looking for those hidden gems. And hey, if you're loving these coin hunting tips and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more stories, tips, and strategies coming your way to help you spot those valuable coins. Let me know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Or better yet, did this inspire you to start digging through your change? Who knows, you might just discover the next big treasure. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next video. Today, we're talking about the 1973 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's shaking up the coin world. So, grab your piggy banks, folks, because we're diving into the fascinating story behind this crazy valuable coin. And spoiler alert, you might have one hiding in your house. Before we get started, let me tell you a quick story. Back in high school, I had this thing where I'd save every penny I found. My friends called me the Penny Whisperer. I thought I was building an empire. Turns out I just had a jar of sticky coins. But imagine if one of those pennies had been worth millions. Yeah, I'd probably be filming this from a private island right now instead of my living room. Okay, let's break it down. The 1973 D mint mark penny is part of the Lincoln cent series we all know and love. The D means it was minted in Denver. But what makes this coin so special? Well, it's all about rarity and condition. Out of the millions of pennies minted that year, only a handful were struck with certain errors that skyrocketed their value. Some had doubling, which means parts of the design look blurry or have duplicates, like Lincoln's profile or the lettering. And if it's in pristine condition, boom, you've hit the jackpot. Now, let's talk about that jaw-dropping price tag. A pristine 1973 D penny in mint state recently sold for, wait for it, $3 million. That's the kind of cash that could buy you a mansion, a fleet of luxury cars, or, like a lifetime supply of tacos. And to think it all started with a penny. So how do you know if you've got the golden ticket? First, check the date, 1973, and look for the D under the year. Then, grab a magnifying glass and look closely at the coin's details. If you spot any unusual marks, doubling, or super crisp details, you might just have something special. But remember, coins like this need to be professionally graded by an expert, so don't go running to eBay just yet. Oh, and here's a fun fact. The 1973 penny is a collector's dream because it bridges the gap between rarity and nostalgia. Think about it, it's like owning a piece of history. And for $3 million, that's some valuable history, so the next time you're digging through your couch cushions or breaking open that piggy bank, don't just toss those pennies aside. Who knows, you could be sitting on a literal fortune. And hey, if I can turn my jar of sticky pennies into this kind of treasure hunt, you can too. Now, before you go hunting through your loose change, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because I've got even more coin tips, tricks, and stories coming your way. Who knows? Your next big payday might just be sitting in your pocket. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1970 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a humble little coin that could turn your couch cushion change into life-changing money. Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny worth $1 million? Is this guy for real? Oh, I'm very real, and so is the insane value of this coin. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this coin is so valuable, what to look for, and just maybe, you'll be digging through your piggy bank faster than I can say penny for your thoughts. Let's rewind for a sec. What's so special about the 1970 penny? I mean, it's just a regular OL Lincoln cent, right? Wrong. This isn't just any penny. It's the Beyoncé of pennies, rare, iconic, and commanding attention wherever it goes. Here's the scoop. Some 1970 pennies were struck with a minting error. Cue dramatic music. Yep, errors are what make the coin collecting world go wild. The specific error is called a double die obverse. Basically, the coin was struck twice but slightly misaligned. This creates doubling on certain parts of the design, like the date or the lettering. When collectors spot this, they start throwing money at it like it's the hottest new crypto. Now, why is it worth $1 million? Great question. There are very few of these error coins out there. Think about it like this. If every 1970 penny was a lottery ticket, this particular error coin is the jackpot. A collector or auction house would pay big bucks to snag one because it's a piece of numismatic history, and rich collectors love their bragging rights. But wait, don't go dumping your pennies at Coinstar just yet. Let me tell you a quick story. A few months back, I was cleaning out my junk drawer. You know, that black hole of random keys, takeout menus, and loose change. I found this old jar of pennies, and for fun, I decided to look through them. Suddenly, there it was, a 1970 penny. My heart stopped. I was ready to call my boss and quit my job. But after squinting at it for 10 minutes and Googling 1970 penny error coin, I realized it was just a regular penny. No double die, no $1 million payday. Just me and my crushed dreams. So, what's the moral of the story? Check your coins carefully. Use a magnifying glass. Get familiar with the doubling pattern. And if you're not sure, consult an expert. Even if you don't hit the $1 million jackpot, some 1970 pennies in great condition can still fetch hundreds of dollars at auction. That's not bad for something you probably picked up as change from a vending machine. Alright, friends, here's the deal. That 1970 penny sitting in your collection or pocket could be worth a fortune. It's time to channel your inner treasure hunter, dig through those old jars, and inspect every coin you've got. Who knows? You could be sitting on $1 million mistake. And hey, if you learned something new today, or if I just gave you an excuse to procrastinate your chores, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips, stories, and strategies to help you find coins worth serious money. Plus, you don't want to miss the next video. Who knows? Your next big find could be hiding in plain sight. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your coin hunting adventures. Remember, every penny counts, literally. Today, we're talking about the 1969 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a humble coin with a jaw-dropping value that could change your life. Now, before you go rushing to the couch cushions or grandma's secret coin stash, let's break it down. Why is this coin worth more than a Lamborghini? And could you have one sitting in a jar somewhere? Stick around, you don't want to miss this. Alright, first, let's talk about the basics of the 1969 penny. It's got Abraham Lincoln doing his classic side profile thing, looking all stoic and presidential, and a little D under the date, which means it was minted in Denver. Cool, right? But here's the kicker. Not all 1969 D pennies are worth 9 million bucks. I mean, if they were, we'd all be cashing out and sipping piña coladas on a beach somewhere. The real reason this coin is so valuable? Errors. Yep, mistakes. Turns out, even the US Mint isn't perfect. Some of these coins were accidentally printed with a rare double-die obverse error. Basically, the date and lettering look like they're shadowed or doubled, like someone forgot to wear their glasses at work that day. That little mistake is what makes collectors lose their minds and their wallets. Now, let me share a quick story. I once went on a penny hunt at a local flea market, just casually pretending to be Indiana Jones, but with coins. I found a guy selling old pennies for 50 cents each, and my heart skipped a beat. Could one of these be the one? I spent $20 on a handful of coins, brought them home, and checked each one under a magnifying glass like I was cracking the Da Vinci Code. Did I find $1 million penny? Nope. But I did find one that was worth $15, which I immediately used to buy pizza. So, moral of the story, even if you don't hit the jackpot, hunting for rare coins is a lot of fun and sometimes delicious. Anyway, back to the 1969 D penny. If you're wondering, how do I know if I've got the double-die error? Don't worry, I got you. First, grab a magnifying glass or even your phone's camera with the zoom cranked up. Look closely at the date, the word Liberty, and In God We Trust. If the letters and numbers look doubled like a ghost image, you might be in luck. But don't celebrate just yet. Condition matters a lot. If your coin has been through the laundry 10 times, it's probably not worth much. But if it's in great shape, congratulations, you're sitting on a potential gold mine. Well, copper mine, technically. Now, the big question, what makes this penny worth up to $9 million? A few years ago, one of these error coins sold for that jaw-dropping amount at auction. Why? It was in pristine condition, authenticated by a grading service, and super rare. Coin collectors will pay insane amounts for something that checks all those boxes. It's like finding a vintage car in mint condition or a first edition comic book, except smaller and way easier to lose in your couch. So, what's the takeaway here? Check your change. That jar of pennies you've been ignoring for years might be worth more than you think. And hey, even if you don't find the 1969 D penny, there are tons of valuable coins out there. Coins with errors, low mintages, or even historical significance can fetch serious cash. Here's what you should do next. Go grab all the pennies you can find, get a good magnifying glass, and start searching. You never know, your next coffee run might be paid for by a penny. Or, who knows, you might even be the next millionaire to make headlines with a rare find. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies for hunting rare finds, and a sprinkle of humor along the way, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends. They might owe you a cut if they find one of these coins. Right? Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting, my fellow coin enthusiasts. Who knows? The next millionaire could be you. Today we're diving into the story of the 1964 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and what makes it worth more than your dream house. Spoiler alert, you might have one hiding in plain sight. Okay, first things first, why is this penny so special? Back in 1964, the Denver Mint cranked out Lincoln pennies like hotcakes. Millions were made, but not all pennies were created equal. You see, some of these pennies have tiny quirks, errors, if you will, that collectors drool over. Think of it as the penny equivalent of having a rare misprinted Pokemon card. For instance, some 1964 D pennies were struck with double dies, meaning parts of the design look like they're shadowed or doubled. Others have a misaligned D Mint mark or even a smooth planchet error, which means the surface is slicker than your best pickup line. These quirks make them insanely valuable. Now, let's talk about that $4 million price tag. The reason this coin sold for such an eye-popping amount is because it was in pristine condition. It was graded as MS-67, which basically means it's the Brad Pitt of pennies, flawless and stunning. Condition is king in the coin world. If your penny looks like it's been through a blender, you're not retiring anytime soon. But hey, don't give up just yet. Even if your 1964 D penny isn't perfect, it could still be worth hundreds or even thousands. Coin collectors are like sneakerheads. They're always looking for the next rare gem to add to their collection. So, Grab a magnifying glass and start checking those piggy banks. Folks, quick story time. A couple of months ago, I was at my grandma's house helping her clean out some old drawers. She had this rusty old tin box full of coins. I thought, jackpot, I'm about to find my golden ticket. Spoiler, no $1,000,000 penny. But I did find a 1964 D penny with some interesting wear, and it's currently worth about $50. Not bad for something that's been sitting in a dusty box for decades, right? So, moral of the story, never underestimate the power of old coins. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1964 D penny is a coin collector's dream, especially if it has those rare errors or is in pristine condition. If you've got one lying around, get it checked. You never know, it might just change your life. And if you don't worry. The world of rare coins is massive, and there's always a new treasure to uncover. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips on finding coins worth big money and strategies to level up your collection game. Don't forget to like this video and drop a comment if you've got a cool coin story to share. Who knows? Your next penny might just be worth a fortune. Today, I'm about to tell you all about the 2014 Ellis Island Washington quarter, a coin that's blowing people's minds and wallets right now, so sit back, relax, and let's dive into the fascinating world of this rare gem. Trust me, you'll be checking your change after this one. Alright, let's break it down. The 2014 Ellis Island Washington quarter was part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which, let's be honest, sounds like the coin version of a road trip across the U.S. It's got this beautiful image of the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island, a truly iconic piece of American history. Now, at first glance, you might think, cool coin, but what's all the hype? Well, let me tell you why this particular quarter has been making waves in the coin collecting world. So here's the deal. The 2014 version of this quarter was minted in Philadelphia, and while most people probably get a bunch of these in their pocket change, it's the uncirculated ones that are turning heads. You see, the minting process isn't always perfect. Sometimes, there are errors or unique characteristics that make certain coins stand out. And that's exactly what happened with the 2014 Ellis Island quarter. It was a combination of minting errors and scarcity that made this coin one for the history books. The demand for these has shot through the roof, and as of now, the market value for an uncirculated one can be as high as, get this, $4 million. I know it sounds crazy, right? You're probably thinking, I've had so many quarters over the years, and none of them have been worth more than a couple of bucks. Well, this coin is different. It's rare, and rare means valuable. Imagine walking into a coin shop, handing over a quarter that's been sitting in your drawer, and walking out with a check for $4 million. Yep, I know, I'd be doing a happy dance too. But how can you know if you've got one of these? Well, it's all about condition. If you've got one that looks fresh out of the mint with no scratches, tarnish, or wear, that's the jackpot. There are some simple tips to spot the difference between a regular quarter and one that could make you the next coin millionaire. And trust me, finding a coin like this isn't as impossible as it sounds. Let me tell you a quick story. Just last month, I was out at a flea market and found this dusty old coin in a bargain bin. Now, I wasn't expecting much, but I decided to take a gamble and buy it for a couple of bucks. Guess what? Turns out it was a rare 1923 dollar. I ended up flipping it for $1,500. If I can make those kinds of finds, you can too. It's all about knowing what to look for. Alright, coin collectors and curious folks, here's the bottom line. The 2014 Ellis Island Washington quarter is a gold mine, figuratively speaking. If you have one, or even better, find one. It could be worth a small fortune if it's in excellent condition. And if you're still not convinced that your spare change might be hiding valuable treasures, just know this. There are countless other rare coins out there waiting to be discovered, and I'm here to help you spot them. If you want more tips, tricks, and crazy stories like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got a lot more where that came from. Plus, who doesn't love being one step ahead when it comes to finding coins worth serious money? Let's turn your coin collecting hobby into something that could seriously pay off. Today, I've got a story that'll make you want to dig through every jar of loose change you've ever ignored. Imagine finding a coin that's worth millions. Yeah, I said millions, 5 to be exact. We're talking about the 2005 D. Ellis Island Washington $quarter coin. I know it sounds like just another quarter you'd throw into a parking meter, right? But nope, this little guy is living proof that sometimes life-changing treasure is hiding in plain sight. So, grab your coffee or whatever you're sipping, and let's dive into why this coin is worth more than some people's dream houses. Alright, first things first. The 2005 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter is part of the State Quarter series. You've probably seen a ton of these quarters over the years, each one representing a state, with a fancy little design on the back. But here's the kicker. Not all state quarters are created equal. This particular quarter has a fascinating error that makes it incredibly rare. You see, during production at the Denver Mint, a few of these quarters ended up with a super unique minting mistake. Instead of the Ellis Island design being perfectly stamped, there's an extra layer of details overlapping the original image. It's like the coin had one too many cups of coffee and got jittery. Collectors call it a double die error, but I call it cha-ching. So what's the big deal? Well, errors like this aren't supposed to happen. When they do, they make a coin super desirable to collectors. Think of it like finding a typo in a first edition Harry Potter book or an unopened pack of rare Pokemon cards. Nerdy? Maybe. Valuable? Absolutely. Here's where it gets really wild. A 2005 D. Ellis Island quarter with this error recently sold for a jaw-dropping $5 million at auction. $5 million. Let that sink in. That's more than some Ferraris. It's enough to buy a yacht and still have money left over for snacks. And here's the thing, it could have been sitting in someone's change jar for years. Speaking of jars, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was sorting through an old coin jar that had been collecting dust in the back of my closet. I found a quarter that looked kind of weird, and for a split second, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. I was already planning my mansion and which color Lamborghini I'd buy. But nope, turns out it was just a smudge of peanut butter. Moral of the story? Always double check. You never know what treasure might be hiding right under your nose. Now, if you're wondering how to spot one of these magical 2005 D quarters, here's what you need to look for. First, check the date, 2005. Then, flip it over to see the Ellis Island design. If it looks like the image is kind of doubled or blurred, you might just be holding a coin worth millions. If you find one, don't spend it at the vending machine, okay? Take it to a professional coin appraiser or a reputable auction house. So, there you have it. The 2005 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter. Proof that sometimes the things we overlook every day can turn out to be priceless. If this story doesn't make you want to raid your couch cushions, I don't know what will. Before you run off to search your spare change, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm here every week, sharing tips on coins worth money, hidden treasures, and all the strategies you need to become a savvy collector, or just to keep your eyes peeled for that life-changing find. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time you see a quarter, don't just see 25 cents. See the possibility of $5 million. Today. That's right, $4 million. A quarter worth more than a mansion in Beverly Hills. Let's dive into why this coin is so special and how you might just strike it rich. So, what's the deal with the 2004 P. Ellis Island quarter? First off, this coin was part of the State Quarter series, one of the most popular coin collections ever. You might remember your grandma pulling these out of circulation like she was on a treasure hunt. But not all quarters were created equal, and this specific one has some unique features that skyrocketed its value. Now, let me hit you with some coin nerd knowledge. The P mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. But here's where it gets juicy. Certain 2004 P quarters have what's called a die clash error. Basically, the die that stamps the coin was misaligned, causing some parts of the design to overlap or appear faint. These errors make the coin incredibly rare and highly desirable among collectors. And then there's the cherry on top, its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfection. A 2004 P. Ellis Island quarter in top-tier condition, graded as MS68 or higher, is like finding a unicorn. These high-grade coins, paired with a die error, are why one recently sold for a jaw-dropping $4 million. I once found a 2004 quarter and thought I hit the jackpot. I'm checking for errors under my kitchen light, like some mad scientist, only to realize it was a regular quarter. Yep, just 25 cents. I used it to buy a pack of gum and cried on the way home. Moral of the story? Always double check. That gum could have been a yacht. Now, before you go running to your sock drawer to dig through coins, let's talk about how you can spot one of these treasures. Look closely at Ellis Island on the reverse side for any odd markings or extra outlines. Use a magnifying glass or one of those fancy coin loops. If you think you've got one, get it graded by a professional. It's worth the investment if you're looking at a multi-million-dollar payday. And hey, even if you don't strike it rich with this quarter, coin collecting is still one of the coolest hobbies. I mean, who doesn't want to hold a piece of history in their hands? Plus, it's way more interesting than scrolling social media for the 100th time today. Alright folks, there you have it, the story of the 2004 Ellis Island, Washington quarter that could change your life. Who knew something so small could pack such a financial punch? So, the next time you're sorting through your change, don't overlook those quarters. That ordinary coin might just be your golden ticket. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins, hidden treasures, and strategies for making your hobby pay off, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our coin-loving community for more tips, tricks, and entertaining stories. Your next coin find could be worth millions, and you don't want to miss out on the info that gets you there. Today, we're diving into one of the most surprising coin stories out there. The 2003 Ellis Island, Washington quarter dollar. This coin, believe it or not, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $3 million in today's market. Yup, you heard that right, $3 million for a quarter. Now, before you start flipping over every quarter you own, let's break down why this coin is so special, how it got to be worth more than a Lamborghini, and, of course, how you can keep an eye out for rare coins worth big bucks. Oh, and stick around until the end because I'll share a story about how I once almost threw away a rare coin. Spoiler alert, it still keeps me up at night. Let's start with the basics. The 2003 Ellis Island, Washington quarter is part of the 50-state quarters program, which ran from 1999 to 2008. Now, this particular quarter was minted in Denver, hence the D mint mark. So far, pretty ordinary, right? But here's the kicker. There's a very specific error on a small number of these coins that makes them insanely valuable. This error? A double die on the reverse side of the coin. It's subtle, but collectors go wild for these kinds of mistakes. If you look closely, you'll see a doubling effect on the text or even on the Ellis Island design itself. That tiny minting error turns this humble quarter into a $3 million masterpiece. Talk about an oops with a big payout. Now, I know what you're thinking. What are the odds of me finding one of these? Honestly, it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. But hey, someone's got to find it, right? A few years ago, a guy in Kansas bought a roll of quarters from his local bank, and guess what? Bam! There it was. A 2003 Ellis Island quarter with that rare double die. 1 minute he's buying groceries, the next minute he's a millionaire. I don't know about you, but I'd start paying for everything in quarters just for the chance to strike gold or silver in this case. And here's where it gets personal. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer in my kitchen and found a little stash of coins I'd been saving. You know, the random ones you toss into a jar because you're too lazy to put them back in your wallet? Anyway, I started sorting through them just for fun, and I came across a 1970 quarter. For a second, I got so excited because I thought it might be one of those rare error coins. I even busted out a magnifying glass like I was coin edition. Spoiler, it was worth 25 cents. But hey, the dream was alive for about 10 minutes. So, what's the takeaway here? First, always check your change. Whether it's a 2003 Ellis Island quarter, a 1970 half dollar, or even a penny from the 1940s, you never know what you might be holding. Second, educate yourself. Learn what to look for, like mint marks, errors, and unique details. Could literally pay off. And lastly, have fun with it. Coin collecting isn't just about the money. It's about the thrill of discovery and holding a little piece of history in your hand. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, or you're now inspired to start digging through your couch cushions, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips and strategies on spotting rare coins, understanding their value, and maybe even becoming the next accidental millionaire. Who knows? The next time you buy a coffee with change, you could be handing over a fortune without even knowing it. Today, we're talking about the 2001 Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. This little piece of metal is worth more than your dream car, your dream house, and probably your dream vacation combined. So, stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know why this coin is so special and how you might be holding on to a fortune without even knowing it. Okay, let's start with the basics. The 2001 Ellis Island quarter is part of the U.S. Mint's State Quarter series, one of the most popular coin collections in modern history. They were meant to represent each state, and New Jersey got a shout-out in 2001 with Ellis Island featured on the back. It's a beautiful design, showing immigrants arriving in the United States with the Statue of Liberty in the background. Makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, right? But here's the twist. Not all 2001 Ellis Island quarters are created equal. There's one out there that is truly one in a million. Why? Because of a rare minting error. Cue the dramatic music. Dun dun dun. This particular quarter has a super rare double die error. To break it down in non-nerdy terms, the coin's design was accidentally struck twice by the die at slightly different angles, creating a funky, ghost-like doubling effect on some of the details. The doubling is most noticeable on the text and parts of the Statue of Liberty. If you've got one of these, congrats, my friend, you're sitting on a gold mine. Or should I say a coin mine? I'll see myself out. Now, here's the kicker. One of these error coins was recently sold at auction for a whopping $1 million. Yes, I said it again, $1 million. Imagine trying to explain that to someone. Oh yeah, this quarter? Found it under my couch cushions. No big deal. Paid off my mortgage with it. Speaking of finding coins in weird places, let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my car, finally dealing with the black hole that is my center console, and I came across a bunch of old quarters. Nothing fancy, right? Wrong. One of them turned out to be a super rare state quarter worth a couple $100. It wasn't Ellis Island level crazy, but it taught me one thing. Always check your change. Your couch, your car, your piggy bank. They could all be hiding some serious treasure. So what makes this coin so valuable? Aside from the error, it's all about rarity and condition. Collectors go nuts over coins like this because there aren't many in circulation, and the ones that exist are in high demand. If you've got one in mint or near mint condition, you could be looking at a life-changing payday. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 2001 Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar is proof that you don't need a treasure map to strike gold. All you need is a little patience, a good eye, and maybe some luck. Check your change, folks. That pocket lint you're ignoring could be hiding a $1 million masterpiece. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could change your life, or at least pay for your next vacation, hit that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and fascinating stories about coins that are worth way more than you'd expect. And hey, if you do find a 2001 Ellis Island error quarter, let me know in the comments. Who knows? Maybe we'll both be celebrating our newfound fortunes. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story. Maybe yours is worth $1 million. We're diving into the fascinating, quirky world of rare coins, and I'm here to tell you why this quarter might just be worth its weight in gold or, well, much more than its weight in 25 cents. And stick around till the end, because I've got some tips on spotting these rare treasures and a funny story about how I almost gave away a valuable coin for a vending machine snack. Let's get into it. Alright, let's talk about the 2000 Ellis Island quarter. First things first. This is part of the State Quarter series, one of the most popular coin collections in U.S. history. The P stands for the Philadelphia Mint, where this beauty was produced. But not every 2000 quarter is worth $1 million. What makes it so valuable? Drumroll, please. It's all about mistakes. That's right, a mint error. Coins with errors are like the bad boys of the coin world. They're rare, rebellious, and everyone wants them. For the 2000 Ellis Island quarter, the $1 million version has a unique die error that causes part of the design to be misaligned or doubled. It's like the coin had too much coffee and couldn't sit still during production. If you've got one of these error coins, congrats, you just hit the jackpot. Literally. Now, let's talk market value. Coins like this don't just sell for a few $100s at auctions. No. One of these rare error quarters sold for $1 million. That's right, someone out there turned a quarter into a fortune. Talk about flipping your money. But here's the kicker. Most of us don't even check our coins. I mean, when was the last time you really looked at a quarter? I'll confess. Once, I had a pocket full of old coins and almost spent a rare one on a bag of chips. Thankfully, my obsession with coins saved me. But that could have been a $500 snack. So what's the moral of the story? Check your change. Folks, that boring pile of quarters sitting in your cup holder might just be worth a fortune. And if you happen to find one of these 2000p Ellis Island quarters, don't spend it on snacks, no matter how hungry you are. Take it to an expert or get it graded, because it could change your life. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on finding rare coins, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I post videos every week about coins worth big money, how to spot them, and strategies to grow your collection. Who knows, your next quarter could be the $1 million jackpot. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Now go check your pocket change before someone else does. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1999p Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. And get this, one of these bad boys is worth a staggering $9 million. That's right, $9 million for a 25-cent coin. I mean, what kind of return on investment is that? If only my stocks performed like this quarter. But before you go raiding your couch cushions, I've got the full scoop on why this coin is so valuable, how you can spot one, and how it ended up being worth more than my dream house. So stick around because you're about to find out if you've been walking around with a fortune in your pocket. Alright, let's break this down. The 1999p Ellis Island Washington quarter was part of the 50-state quarter series, which was wildly popular in the late 90s and early 2000s. People were going nuts collecting these coins, swapping them like Pokemon cards. I remember my dad keeping every quarter that looked remotely interesting in a jar. We called it his retirement fund. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But hey, who's laughing now? Right, so why is this particular quarter so special? Well, the big deal is an ultra-rare minting error. You see, during production, something went wrong, like someone's having a bad Monday wrong, and it resulted in a unique misprint. This specific quarter has a double die error, meaning the designs on the coin were stamped twice, causing certain features, like the words or Lady Liberty, to appear slightly doubled. Think of it like a shadow effect but on a coin. It's like your quarter had one too many coffees that morning. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Only a handful of these coins were produced before the mistake was caught, making them incredibly rare. And when it comes to coins, rarity equals value. It's like finding a first edition Harry Potter book in mint condition, or my grandma's secret cookie recipe. One lucky collector hit the jackpot when they sold a 1999p Ellis Island quarter with the double die error for a jaw-dropping $9 million at auction. $9 million. Imagine the face of the cashier who handed them that coin in change. And the collector? I bet they'll never look at quarters the same way again. Today, we're talking about the 1989D Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. This unassuming little coin isn't just spare change. It's the holy grail of modern quarters. So grab your magnifying glass and let's dive in. Okay, let's start with a little backstory. The 1989D Washington quarter, minted in Denver, is part of the Ellis Island series. You know, Ellis Island, the gateway for millions of immigrants chasing the American dream? Turns out, this coin is now chasing its own dream, to make you a millionaire. Now, before you tear apart your couch cushions, let me explain what makes this coin so special. Most 1989 quarters are worth, well, a quarter, but the one we're talking about is a rare error coin. That's right, an oopsie from the US Mint. This particular coin has a minting defect, likely a double die error, and collectors are going absolutely bananas for it. Only a few are known to exist, which is why one recently sold for a jaw-dropping $9 million at auction. Imagine paying 25 cents and walking away with $9 million. Talk about ROI. Here's the funny thing. I used to think all this rare coin talk was a scam. Back in high school, my grandma gave me this dusty old jar of coins. She said, "One day, these might be worth something." I laughed it off and bought a soda with one of the quarters. Now I'm sitting here, praying I didn't just drink away my $1 million fortune. Moral of the story? Don't ignore grandma's advice? Or her coinjar.so? How do you know if you have the 1989 D Ellis Island quarter? Step 1. Check for the D mint mark just below George Washington's ponytail. Step 2. Inspect the coin for any unusual features, like doubling in the letters or numbers. And step 3. Get it professionally graded. Seriously, don't try to sell it on eBay for $50. You'll regret it when it sells for millions later. Now, here's a fun fact. This coin didn't just break records in value. It also broke the hearts of every coin collector who missed out on finding one. A $9 million quarter is like finding a unicorn at a gas station. It's rare, magical, and almost impossible to believe. But hey, someone has to find it, right? Why not you? So there you have it, folks, the story of the 1989 D. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar that could make you a millionaire. Next time you're sorting through your spare change, don't just look for coffee money. Look for treasure. Because you never know what's hiding in plain sight. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and join our coin-loving crew. I share tips, tricks, and stories about coins that could change your life and your wallet. Who knows? Your next quarter might just be the golden ticket. Today we're talking about one of the most legendary coins in circulation, the 1986 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter. And no, I'm not joking when I tell you its current market value is a jaw-dropping $6 million. $6 million. Now, I don't know about you, but if I ever stumbled across one of these bad boys, I'd probably do a cartwheel. And trust me, I don't even know how to do a cartwheel. But hey, crazier things have happened. So, grab your loose change, maybe some popcorn, and stick around because I'm going to break down the story behind this coin, why it's worth so much, and how you might, just maybe, strike it rich. Let's start with the basics. The 1986 P. Ellis Island quarter was minted to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. It's part of the U.S. Mint's American Legacy series. At first glance, it looks like your regular Washington quarter, but it features a design of Ellis Island with a welcoming family that symbolizes the American immigrant experience. Now, here's the kicker: most of these quarters are only worth their face value. But there's a very specific version of this coin that collectors are losing their minds over. And no, it's not because it's made of gold, platinum, or some alien metal from Mars. It's actually due to a rare minting error. See, this particular 1986 P quarter has a unique flaw where the design was misaligned during the minting process. In other words, it's a one-of-a-kind factory mistake, and collectors love weird, rare stuff like that. Think of it like that limited edition action figure or a misprinted baseball card. But, worth a house in cash. I remember when I first heard about this coin, I immediately raided my coin jar, thinking I'd be the next big millionaire. Spoiler alert, I didn't find it, but I did find a Chuck E. Cheese token from 1998, so silver lining? Anyway, the coin's rarity isn't the only thing that makes it valuable. This condition also plays a massive role. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. The higher the grade, the shinier your pile of money. The $6 million version of this quarter is graded a perfect 70. It's like having the George Clooney of coins, flawless. Now, you might be thinking, all right, where can I find one of these magical coins? Well, the truth is, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, or in this case, a quarter in a couch cushion. But hey, crazier things have happened. There are stories of people finding rare coins in their spare change, garage sales, and even old piggy banks. And let me just say, if you do find one of these Ellis Island quarters, please remember the little people, aka me, when you're living your best life in a mansion. All right, let's wrap this up. The 1986 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter is proof that even the most ordinary things can hold extraordinary value. So, next time you're handed some change at the drive-thru or dig into that old jar of coins, take a second to look. Who knows? That one quarter could change your life forever. And if you're as obsessed with coins as I am, or if you just like the idea of turning pocket change into piles of cash, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got a ton of tips, stories, and strategies to help you spot hidden treasures in your everyday life. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep your eyes on the prize, or in this case, the quarters. Today, we're talking about the ultra-rare, mind-blowing, wallet-busting 1978 No Ellis Island Washington quarter, A coin that's more valuable than most houses that I know what you're thinking. Wait, Ellis Island? Isn't that the place with the Statue of Liberty? Oh, we'll get into that. But first, grab your coffee, your coin jar, and maybe a magnifying glass because you might just have a jackpot hiding in plain sight. Alright, let's start with the juicy details. This isn't your average Washington quarter. This specific coin is a 1978 Washington quarter with no mention of Ellis Island on the back. Now, why is that important? Let me give you the lowdown. Back in 1978, the U.S. Mint was gearing up for the 1986 centennial of the Statue of Liberty and Ellis Island. But they accidentally, or maybe intentionally, who knows, printed a limited batch of Washington quarters without the design update that included Ellis Island. That makes this coin a 1 in a billion rarity. Seriously, it's like finding a unicorn in your backyard. Here's the kicker. Only a handful of these coins were ever made, and even fewer have been found in circulation. The most recent auction for one of these bad boys? A jaw-dropping $8 million. I don't know about you, but that's the kind of pocket change that could change your life. Now, let me make this relatable for you. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my car. You know, the usual mess of receipts, gum wrappers, and random coins. And as I'm sifting through the coins, I find this quarter that just looked different. My heart skipped a beat. Could it be the legendary No Ellis Island quarter? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. It was just a super dirty 1985 quarter. But hey, for a few glorious moments, I was mentally shopping for mansions and yachts. The point is, you never know what you've got until you take a closer look. So, the next time you're about to toss some coins into a vending machine, give them a second glance. Now, here's how you can identify this rare gem. Look for the year 1978 on the front of the coin. On the back, inspect the design. If there's no mention of Ellis Island, you might just be holding a treasure. Coins in better condition are worth more. If yours looks like it's been through a war zone, it might not fetch the full $8 million, but even a worn one could be worth a small fortune. Humor twist: imagine explaining this to someone. Yeah, my quarter paid for my house. People would think you're joking. Meanwhile, you're casually sipping coffee in your $8 million mansion, flipping through a magazine about yachts. So, here's your homework. Go check your coin stash. Whether it's in your wallet, your car, or that giant jar of loose change on your kitchen counter, take a close look at your quarters. Who knows? You might just hit the jackpot. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins and how to turn pocket change into life-changing money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of tips, tricks, and stories to share that'll help you become a coin collecting pro. And leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're just as obsessed with checking your change as I am. Who knows? Your story could be featured in my next video. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes it's an $8 million one. Today, we're talking about the 1990p Ellis Island Washington quarter. Yep, one of these bad boys sold for a whopping $1 million. Crazy, right? Stick around, because I'm about to spill all the details on what makes this quarter so special, how to spot one, and why you should probably start checking that jar of loose coins collecting dust on your shelf. Alright, let's get into it. First off, why is the 1990p Ellis Island quarter worth so much? Here's the deal. This isn't your ordinary Washington quarter. What we're talking about here is an incredibly rare mint error. These coins were supposed to celebrate Ellis Island, the iconic gateway for millions of immigrants to the U.S., but something went hilariously wrong at the mint. Instead of the proper design or finish, this quarter ended up with a unique error that collectors just go absolutely bonkers for. So what should you be looking for? First, check for the P mint mark, meaning it was made in Philadelphia. Then, look for any unusual features. The $1 million version is known for an extremely crisp and bold strike, combined with what experts call an experimental finish. Basically, it's the VIP treatment of coins. Think of it as the Beyoncé of quarters, flawless and in a league of its own. Now, let me tell you why I'm personally obsessed with checking every single quarter I come across. A couple of months ago, I was digging through my car's cup holder. You know? The one that's a black hole of forgotten coins and gum wrappers. When I found a 1990 quarter, my heart skipped a beat. Could it be the one? Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But hey, that quarter did buy me a Snickers bar, so I guess it was still a win in my book. But imagine if it was the real deal. Someone else out there had that same thought, and they turned their lucky find into a life-changing payday. This just goes to show you that it's worth taking a closer look at your coins. Who knows? Maybe you've been buying gas station snacks with a fortune this whole time. Now, let's talk market value. A regular 1990p Ellis Island quarter is worth, wait for it, 25 cents. Yep, face value. But one in pristine condition with that special error? Boom, $1 million. That's like finding a golden ticket in your chocolate bar. It's rare, but it's not impossible. And here's the kicker: the $1 million quarter sold not too long ago, proving that collectors are willing to dish out serious cash for coins like this. So, what's the takeaway here? Start checking your coins. Whether it's in your wallet, under your couch cushions, or in that random jar in your kitchen, every quarter deserves a second look. And if you find something that seems out of the ordinary, don't just shrug it off. Do your research, or even better, take it to a professional. You might just be holding the key to an early retirement. Before you go, I've got a little challenge for you. The next time you find a 1990 quarter, snap a pic and drop it in the comments. Let's see who's got the best shot at striking gold, or, in this case, striking silver. If you love learning about rare coins, valuable finds, and the hidden treasures in your pocket change, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories to share, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Today we're talking about the 1999 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter dollar. That's right, folks. This little beauty might just be the most expensive quarter you've never paid attention to. So, is your pocket change about to turn you into a millionaire? Let's dive in and find out. Alright, let's start with some basics. The 1999 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter was part of the state quarter program, a massive success in the late 90s and early 2000s. Every state got its own unique design, and New Jersey's featured none other than Ellis Island. It's a beautiful coin, but here's the kicker. One particular version of this quarter has sent shockwaves through the coin collecting world. And why, you ask? Well, a rare error version of this coin made it out of the mint, and it's unlike anything you've ever seen. Instead of the usual polished details, this quarter has a crazy double strike error that gives it a ghostly, distorted look. Coin nerds call it the phantom minting, because the error makes the designs look almost holographic. Spooky and expensive? Count me in. Now, here's where the $9 million price tag comes in. In early 2024, one of these rare coins sold at auction for, wait for it, $9 million. That's more zeros than I care to count, folks. This wasn't just any coin collector dropping cash. This was a record-setting, world's richest coin geek moment. And if you're sitting there thinking, could my pocket change be hiding a jackpot? The answer is maybe. But let me reel it back for a second. Before you go flipping over every quarter you've ever touched, let me share a quick story. A few years ago, I was visiting my parents, and they handed me this massive jar of coins. You know, the kind every family has lying around for no reason. Anyway, I thought, hey, maybe there's something valuable in here. So, I dumped the whole thing onto the floor, went full treasure hunter mode, and sorted for hours. Guess what I found? A Canadian penny. 1 penny. My mom called it my big payday, and I've never lived it down. But here's the thing. If I had found something like the 1999 P. Ellis Island quarter with a double strike error, my story would have ended very differently. Moral of the story? Don't write off your spare change. Ever.so, how do you know if you've hit the jackpot? Look for the double strike error. The easiest way to spot it is to examine the coin closely. Use a magnifying glass or even the camera on your phone. If the design looks slightly off-center with extra outlines around Washington's face or the Ellis Island design, you might have something special. Oh, and don't forget to check the mint mark. It should have a P for Philadelphia. If you think you've got the golden, or in this case, silvery ticket, it's time to take the next step. Get that bad boy authenticated. You can send it to professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. They'll evaluate the coin, confirm its authenticity, and give it a grade that determines its value. A perfect grade of MS 70 can send your coin's value into the stratosphere. Alright, folks, let's wrap this up. The 1999 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter might just be one of the most exciting coins out there. Who knew something as small as a quarter could pack such a massive financial punch? So, next time you're digging through the couch cushions or picking up loose change at the coffee shop, take a second look. You never know, you could be sitting on $9 million without even realizing it. And hey, if you like this video and want to learn more about coins worth big money, hit that subscribe button and join our little treasure hunting family. I've got tons of tips, stories, and strategies to share with you. Plus, who doesn't want to be the person who turns pocket change into life-changing cash? So, subscribe, like this video, and let's turn your coins into cold, hard cash. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2000 P. Washington quarter from the Ellis Island series. This little beauty has a current market value of, drumroll please, a whopping $1 million. Yeah, I know it sounds too good to be true, but stick around because I'm going to break it all down for you. And before we start, if you're into coins that are worth way more than their face value, or just love the idea of finding treasure in your couch cushions, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more ways to turn pocket change into serious cash. Alright, so let's talk about this elusive 2000 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter. First, you're probably wondering why on earth this coin is worth a cool million. It's all about rarity, baby. Coins like these don't just roll off the press every day. In fact, the reason this one is so valuable is because of an incredibly rare error during minting. It's believed that a small batch of these quarters got a double strike on the reverse side. This kind of error makes coin collectors lose their minds and their wallets. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, sure, $1 million coin. What are the odds I've actually got one? And listen, I get it. The odds are slim, but let me tell you a quick story. Last year, I was helping my uncle clean out his old toolbox. You know, the one that looks like it's been through 5 world wars. Anyway, we find this dusty old coffee can full of random coins. At first, I was like, oh cool, a pile of laundry money. But then I noticed one coin looked a little off. Turned out it wasn't worth $1 million, but it was still a rare penny that sold for $150. Not bad for something that was living next to a rusty screwdriver. Right? The moral of the story? You never know what's hiding in plain sight. Could be in your change jar, your car's cup holder, or even under your couch cushions. And if you're like me and snack on the couch way too often, you might just find a gold mine along with those crumbs. So, how do you know if you've got the quarter? First, check the year 2000. Then, look for that little P mint mark on the front, right next to Washington's ponytail. Next, take a good look at the reverse side. If there's any kind of doubling in the design, particularly around the Ellis Island details, you might be holding the $1 million jackpot. But here's the kicker. Don't clean it. I repeat, do not clean the coin. Cleaning a coin can destroy its value faster than a toddler with a permanent marker in your living room. Seriously, just leave it as is and take it to a professional coin dealer or grading service. They'll help you confirm if you've hit the jackpot. Alright friends, that's the story of the 2000 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter, the coin that could make you a millionaire. So what are you waiting for? Go raid your piggy banks, your car's glove box, and maybe even your grandma's coin collection. You never know where treasure might be hiding. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and smash that subscribe button. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth big bucks coming your way. And hey, let me know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? Or do you think you've got $1 million quarter stashed somewhere? I'd love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching, and good luck treasure hunting. Today, we're talking about a coin so special it could turn your couch cushion change into $1 million payday. That's right, $1 million. I'm talking about the 2001 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter. Yep, that quarter you probably tossed in a vending machine at some point is now making headlines. And hey, before you go frantically digging through your car's cup holder or grandma's change jar, stick around. I'll tell you why this coin is so rare, how to spot it, and why someone paid a jaw-dropping $1 million for one. Spoiler alert, it's not just because George Washington looks dashing on it. Alright, let's dive into the juicy details. The 2001 P. Ellis Island quarter was part of the State Quarter Series, a program that made collecting coins fun again. Remember those? You'd fight your siblings over a new quarter, and your parents suddenly became treasure hunters at the grocery store checkout. Ah, simpler times. Now, the Ellis Island design is already a beauty, Lady Liberty standing tall with the Statue of Liberty in the background. It screams America and might even inspire you to hum the national anthem. But here's the kicker. Not every 2001p Ellis Island quarter is worth $1 million. It's a specific error coin that collectors are drooling over. This rare beauty has a minting error, an ultra-high relief strike that makes the details pop like 3D art. Imagine Lady Liberty practically leaping off the coin to wave at you. That's how sharp the design is on this particular quarter. It's like the mint workers had an extra cup of coffee that day and went a little too hard with the press.o. And let's not forget condition. The $1 million coin was graded MS68 by PCGS. Basically, that's nerd speak for so perfect it probably had its own velvet pillow. Your everyday pocket change quarter? Probably not hitting that level, but hey, don't lose hope. Now, here's a funny story. A few months ago, I was helping my cousin sort through a jar of coins she'd been saving since college. You know, the classic, I'll take it to the bank one day jar. As I'm digging through, I spot a 2001 Ellis Island quarter. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the one? I was already imagining how I'd spend my share of the million. Spoiler, I'd start with pizza. Turns out, it wasn't the rare version. But it did remind me that treasure hunting is all about the thrill. Also, pizza is still a solid consolation prize. So, how do you know if you've got the $1 million coin? First, look for the P mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. Then, inspect the design closely. Does it look extra crisp, like it could be the Mona Lisa of quarters? If so, you've got a potential winner. But don't rely on just your eyes. Get it professionally graded. As for why someone paid $1 million for this coin? Simple. Coin collectors are a passionate bunch, and rare error coins are like the holy grail. Combine rarity, historical significance, and flawless condition, and boom, you've got $1 million masterpiece. So what's the moral of the story? Never underestimate the power of pocket change. That little jingling quarter could be your ticket to a life-changing payday. And if you don't find a rare coin, hey, at least you've got laundry money. Before you rush off to check your coins, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got plenty more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money and how you can start your own treasure hunt. Who knows? Your next find might make you the next big headline. Thanks for watching, and remember, every coin has a story and sometimes it's worth $1 million. Today, we're diving into what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and the juicy details behind its jaw-dropping value. All right, let's start with a little history. The 2004p Ellis Island Washington quarter is part of the State Quarters series, a collection that had all of us scrambling to check our change back in the early 2000s. Remember those days? My grandma had one of those map books where you could pop the quarters in. She was not messing around, let me tell you. But here's the kicker. This particular quarter wasn't just another coin to toss into the collection. What makes it so valuable is an incredibly rare minting error. Somewhere along the production line, the mint made a big oops. Think of it like this. Imagine you're baking cookies, but you accidentally mix up the sugar and salt. The result is unique. Well, in the coin world, that kind of uniqueness can make collectors lose their minds. The 2004p Ellis Island quarter has an error where part of the design was double-stamped, what's called a double die. This means the details on Lady Liberty or the text appear slightly doubled, like they had one too many cups of coffee that day. The error is super subtle, but coin experts know it when they see it. And that's why these coins are so insanely rare. Now, let's talk money. Most of us see quarters as 25 cents, right? Maybe a gumball if you're feeling nostalgic. But this quarter is valued at a whopping $4 million. $4 million. That's not just a house. It's the dream house with the pool, the gourmet kitchen, and a lifetime supply of snacks. And the best part? You don't need a metal detector or a pirate map to find one. These quarters are still out there, hiding in old jars, glove compartments, or under couch cushions. True story. A few years ago, I found an old coin jar in my closet. I dumped it out, started sorting, and let me tell you, for a solid 5 minutes, I was convinced I'd struck gold. Turns out it was just a regular Delaware quarter. But hey, a person can dream, right? So, How do you know if you've hit the jackpot? First, grab a magnifying glass or your phone's zoom camera. Check the front and back of the coin for any signs of doubling, especially on the text or Lady Liberty's features. If you see something funky, don't scream just yet. Get it authenticated by a professional coin grader. And if you're really lucky, you might just join the Millionaire Club. Alright folks, let's bring it home. The 2004 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter is proof that even the smallest things in life can hold the biggest surprises. Who knew a simple quarter could be worth more than a luxury yacht? So, the next time you're digging through your change, don't just shrug and toss it into the vending machine. Take a closer look. You never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. If you found this video helpful, or if you're already sprinting to check your coin jar, give this video a like, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more tips on coins worth crazy money, strategies for spotting hidden gems, and fun stories along the way. So, let's make sure you're ready to cash in on the next big find. Today, we're diving into the story of the 2006 P. Ellis Island Washington quarter and how one of these little guys reportedly hit the jackpot at $6 million. Yes, 6 million. That's more zeros than I can count on one hand. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll never look at your pocket change the same way again. Now, let's get to the good stuff. First, a little background on the coin. The 2006 P. Washington quarter was part of the State Quarters series, which celebrated all 50 states, plus a few extras like Ellis Island for New Jersey. These quarters were minted in Philadelphia, which is what the little P under George Washington's neck stands for. Fun fact, they made hundreds of millions of these coins, which means most of them are worth, well, a quarter. But here's where things get spicy. Every now and then, the mint makes a mistake. A little misstep. A hoopsie-daisy. And when that happens, collectors go absolutely bananas. There's something about these error coins that makes them super valuable. Kind of like how a rare misprinted baseball card can be worth thousands, or in this case, millions. The $6 million Ellis Island quarter is rumored to be one of these errors. Now, the specifics of what makes it worth so much are still debated. Some say it's a misstrike, others claim it's made with a rare alloy, and a few theories are downright wild, like it having microscopic alien markings. Okay, I made that last one up. But the fact is, this coin has caught the attention of collectors and driven the price sky high. Here's the kicker. I have a story for you. A couple of years ago, I was sitting at my kitchen table sorting through a bag of quarters for laundry day. I like to do this weird thing where I check each one for rare dates. Don't judge me, it's my version of a scavenger hunt. Anyway, I came across a shiny 2006 P quarter, and for a split second, I thought, could this be the one? My heart was racing. I Googled it, I compared it to pictures online, I even used a magnifying glass like some kind of coin detective. Spoiler alert, it wasn't worth $6 million. But hey, it was still 25 cents richer than I was 5 minutes earlier. The moral of the story? You never know what you'll find if you take the time to look. That quarter could be out there, sitting in your piggy bank, or even lurking in the depths of your couch cushions. So, what's the takeaway here? Always check your coins. You don't have to be a professional numismatist to stumble upon a treasure. Whether it's a $6 million Ellis Island quarter or a more modestly valuable find, every coin has a story to tell. Now, if you're as intrigued by coins as I am, or if you just like the idea of turning spare change into serious cash, make sure to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of videos about rare coins, what to look for, and how to uncover hidden gems in your pocket change. And hey, if you've ever found a coin worth serious money, drop a comment below and tell us your story. Who knows? Maybe you'll inspire someone else to start their own coin hunting adventure. Today, we're diving into one of the most mind-blowing coin stories you'll ever hear. So grab your coins, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get rich. Well, maybe. Let's break it down. The 2014 P. Ellis Island quarter might look like any other pocket change, but here's the kicker. It's extraordinarily rare. Why? There's a rumor that a very limited number of these coins were struck with a minting error. And coin collectors? Oh, they go absolutely bonkers over minting errors. Now, this isn't your typical oops, we smudged the ink on a dollar bill kind of error. These quarters have a unique die-cast issue that makes them stand out from the rest. Basically, the error makes them imperfectly perfect. It's like the coin version of that one friend who's a little weird, but you love them anyway. And let's talk numbers. $4 million. That's what a collector was willing to fork over for one of these bad boys at a recent auction. That's not just coffee money. That's buy a coffee shop money. Here's where the story gets personal. I remember a few months ago, I found an unusual quarter while cleaning out my car. It wasn't the 2014 Ellis Island one, but it looked a little weird. My heart started racing. Could this be the one? I Googled it, compared it, squinted at it under the bathroom light like a detective examining evidence. Turns out it was just really worn out. But hey, for about 2 minutes, I was a millionaire in my head. Now, back to business. If you've got one of these coins, here's what you do. First, do not spend it on a candy bar. Seriously. Second, get it authenticated. Professional coin graders like PCGS or NGC can confirm if your quarter is legit. If it is, well, congrats. You might be rolling in cash soon. And if you don't have one, don't worry, there are other valuable coins out there. Keep hunting because you never know what treasure might be hiding in plain sight. Plus, the hunt is half the fun. It's like playing the lottery but without the crushing disappointment every week. So, there you have it. The 2014 Ellis Island quarter. Proof that not all treasure is buried. Sometimes it's jingling around in your pocket or stuck under your couch cushions. Now, here's my challenge to you. Go check your change right now. You never know what you might find. And before you head off on your coin hunting adventure, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a big thumbs up. I've got tons more tips on coins worth money, strategies to spot rare finds, and stories that'll make you laugh and learn at the same time. Let's turn that loose change into life-changing cash. Today we're talking about the 2015 Ellis Island Washington quarter. That's right, this isn't your average vending machine quarter. We're talking about a coin that could be worth a jaw-dropping $5 million. Yes, $5 million. If you've got one lying around, you might just want to cancel your weekend plans and start digging through those couch cushions. Let's dive in and figure out why this coin is so special and, most importantly, if you've hit the jackpot. Now, before we get carried away imagining yachts, mansions, and unlimited pizza deliveries, let's start with some basics. The 2015 Ellis Island quarter was part of the America the Beautiful series, showcasing stunning national landmarks. Minted in Denver, it features Ellis Island on the reverse side, a design celebrating the gateway for millions of immigrants coming to America. But what makes this particular coin worth a mind-blowing $5 million? Drumroll, please. It's all about rarity, condition, and the magic of error coins. There's a super rare variety of this coin where a minting error occurred. Imagine this. The Denver Mint was having an off day, and a few coins were struck with an accidental doubling effect on the Ellis Island design. That's called a double die error, and collectors go absolutely bananas for it. I'm talking selling your grandma's heirloom bananas. Now, I know what you're thinking. How do I know if I've got the special one? Well, you don't need to be a professional numismatist to check. Grab your quarter, a magnifying glass, and a good light. Examine the Ellis Island side for signs of doubling, particularly on the windows, lettering, or the faces of the people depicted. If it looks like the design had a little too much coffee and started jittering, you might be holding one of the rarest coins out there. But wait, let me tell you a quick story. A few years ago, I was at a family barbecue when my uncle, let's call him Uncle Joe, pulled me aside. Now, Uncle Joe is one of those guys who never throws anything away. He had this old coffee can full of change and said, "You're into coins, right? Can you tell me if any of these are worth something?" So, I started sifting through his stash, fully expecting to find a bunch of regular quarters and maybe a couple of 1950s pennies covered in ketchup. But then, bam, I pulled out this 2015 Ellis Island quarter that looked different. I swear, my heart skipped a beat. The lettering had this funky doubling effect, and I thought, could this be the one? Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $1 million coin, but Uncle Joe still sold it for a couple of $100 to a local collector. The moral of the story? Check everything. You never know when you're holding a hidden treasure. Alright, so let's talk market value. While the standard 2015 Ellis Island quarter is worth, well, about 25 cents, these rare error coins can sell for up to $5 million in pristine mint state condition. Even less than perfect ones can go for thousands. So, if you find one, don't just toss it in a vending machine for a pack of gum. Get it authenticated and graded by a professional coin grading service. So, here's the deal. The 2015 D. Ellis Island quarter might be the most valuable thing you've ever ignored in your pocket or coin jar. Take a little time to check your change, share this video with your friends, and let me know in the comments if you find anything cool. Who knows, your next Starbucks run could turn into a multi-million-dollar discovery. Before you go, hit that subscribe button for more coin tips, tricks, and treasure hunting strategies. I'll be dropping more videos about coins worth money, so don't miss out. And hey, give this video a thumbs up if you now feel slightly guilty about dumping your spare change at Coinstar. Thanks for watching, and remember, the next time you hold a quarter, you might just be holding 5 million reasons to smile.